Got spot on that bit. Oh, God, my back. I need me assistance after. Hello, everyone. Anyone on? One on, one. No one on. There's a thumb up. I don't know if you've done that, Rob. You're really good, Rob. You're not even on yet, and you thought your thumb up. A spanner to hit someone with. Two up, 2-1, and there's only Rob on. Oh, you're doing this, Rob. 2-1. 3 thumbs up, and there's only 2 on. Daft monkey, are you up, Bri? That might be him. Fucking divvy ass. Daft monkey, he up. Hello, bud. How you, son? Glenn Moneth, evening. Still in his fucking Santa suit. Matt Griffiths, hello, brother. I was okay. Waiting for more coming on now. Oh, my neck's stiff. Felt terrible for 2 days, really sore, and on my hip.
I just push this over to get on. Right, pin the comment. Hold on, pin.
He said, feeling the sun a little bit, I think. 20 minutes or something today.
I can't, hold on.
Irish Bull. Smashed the like buttons, Irish Bull's the man.
What deal am I doing here?
I don't know.
Right, hold on there. Found it. I was under the wrong one, Eli, to full tell you there. Right, do you want to get that out of the way first, or what?
No, you wait for people to come on. There's nobody on yet, so give us like 10, 15, 20 minutes or something. I'll go on to talk about whatever.
I've got a busy schedule, I'll have you know. I can't be just calling in 20 minutes.
Well, you just have you booked in. Your name's down there for 15 minutes.
No, I'll be doing 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Well, you can go after 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'm going to.
Yeah, I'll lock you out.
Yeah. I have to charge him now to do these lives with him. That's why I don't come on, because he has to start paying me.
Yeah. If I give you any fucking more, I'll be bankrupt. 52 on, still at 9 thumbs up. Come on, guys, push the like buttons. This is to do the little troll's heading. We're going to be talking about just to let you know, me and Emma have had the audiobook taken down. It's not on Amazon no more. It's not on anything. So Mr. Tinfoil and his wife have pumped enough money out of us and conned us for years. So that's been taken down. We've contacted you know who. He's got nothing to do with the show. That would, by the way, anyone was on there. Sean was given the heads up by them, saying he got it off me, him and Mr. Brenton, which is Warcry Publish and Warcry Press, which we've now established that don't exist in Companies House. So therefore, they're not an entity. If they're not an entity, they haven't been paying tax. So now we spoke to the lady from Amazon today. She said everything's going good. She's still in hospital, but our colleagues are still on with it. As you can see, Brian, they've taken every book off. They've froze everything on Amazon of theirs. None of the books or anything are on. So there'll be no more books made. We've already spoke to another publishing firm and spoke to the man on there, and he was the same. He came on. He said, "Are you Brian?" I went, "Yeah." He said, "I was told I'd have this phone call." He said, "Do you know Mr. Brown? Does that make sense?" I went, "Yeah, Kevin Brown, who was representing Marty Joseph Turn." He said, "Yeah, that's right." He said, "Well, that book as well. We've looked into that, and this is not. This is Gardeners, who are the biggest distributor, I think, in the UK. They've said they're not going to be working with Boyle and Brenton no more. They've had a look what Mr. Brown said, and you're right, Mr. Brown and Mr. Turner and yourself and Terry Dixon and all the others. The books are getting taken down. They've all been taken down. So we went to Waterstones. We went in there. I was in my wheelchair, and I was there with Marty and Robbo and Terry and Emma. We went in. We had the court order off the judge saying that these books had to be. The judge said on the day when I was at court, Mr. Cockerill, I said, "Could I have my book back?" And he went, "Yes." Brenton said, I'll get Sean, meaning Sean Atwood, to get the book now. Sean, I give Sean a bit of a bolt the other week. He's not Sean Atwood. Sean actually did the book and did it on audio because he has Gidify. If anyone's got any books for Sean to do, to put them audio, see him, tell him I'll give you the heads up, and he'll do it for you, and he'll give you a deal with it. You'll probably get 50-50 each on the deal. But he's done the deal because Boyle and Brenton have said, oh, Brian's give the go-ahead for the, we've got a contract and all that, and Brian's give the go-ahead for you to do the audio. So Sean's gone ahead thinking now he's getting money every month. So he's found out recently, because I went mad, I gave him a bollocking, but I was wrong. Sean's actually paid them, I think it's 5 or 6 times. He says, you don't get paid. So Brenton sent us an email saying, the Amazon is down at the moment. For some strange reason, I've got the email still on my phone, and I've also got the paperwork where he sent it to us, saying, I can't get in to my account, which was on Amazon, which I found very strange. It's been down over a year and a half, I think it was. So I spoke to someone, the lady I talked to on here, and another lady from America from Amazon. There's no way Amazon would be down for a year and a half. It's absolute garbage, rubbish. She said because they wouldn't be able to work, because for the whole, all the millions, not just them, there's millions of books to deal with. So there's no way the accounts could be down that long. They might be down like a day, might be down like a couple of hours. She said they're really fast at getting it back up because they're losing money if the accounts are down, because people got to pay in and take out, and wages get paid and stuff. So that was his excuse. Then it was, because of the COVID, 500 books of the Kindle, 500 books was ordered by Waterstones in Middlesbrough, and because it went on for 3 months, and where's this money? I said, where's the money? So no money come forward. He said, what's happened? Because of the COVID, they used that, and loads of people use that as excuse. They've sent 350 books back, and they're going to keep 150, but somehow they've sent the other 150, plus they had another 10, so there was 160, plus the 350 sent back. So he said they've lost 160 books. This is Brenton's little bullshit and Boyle again. So for some strange reason, we've lost 160. For some strange reason, we can't find the accounts. For some strange reason, we haven't got any bank statements. For some strange reason, we can't give you receipts. For some strange reason, we can't give you accounts. For some strange reason, we can't give you the book, how you've been printed. For some strange reason, we can't find out what ISBN number the books are on. So every time it was the same fucking shite. So we finally went to court. Like I said, it took 2.5 years in court. And I said to the judge, look, I've had enough now. I'm going to draw a line in the sand. Could I get my book back? He says, yes. I said, thank you. I'd just like to thank the courts and all the judges who have come forward with this. I said, but I find it a bit strange the day of the trial that Mr. Boyle and Mr. Brenton have lost the receipts, what they've said they've had for the last 3 years, to the 2.5 years to the courts. And the judge said, I concur, it was the word he used. I find it very strange. It's beyond beggar's belief, he said. So he said, because of that, Mr. Cockerill, I know you've been poorly, so I've now ordered them to give you permission to go in all these different outlets to find out how many books have been sold, where, when, and what, and that, and everything. So we couldn't get into most of these shops because you have to be the account holder. So I talked to Sean Atwood, and he said, yeah, you're right, Brian, you can get in. And Brenton come on, he concurred with me and said, yeah, Mr. Cockerill's telling the truth. You can't get information off Amazon, YouTube, because you have to be the account holder. So they knew they had us over the barrel. So that's why we've had to go down this angle and contact Amazon, Kindle, Amazon, and Kindle, Amazon are investigating it now. And that's why the books have all been taken down out of every shop. You try and get Terry Dicko's book. They give Terry Dicko's book was given back. He actually gave Terry 850 of Laughter, Madness and Mayhem, and the Laughter Continues, I think it was called. He got 850 in one book and 150. He got 1,000 books back through the courts, and they're sitting there going, there's no court cases. Well, why did Terry get 1,000 books back? And why is none of the books on the shelves anywhere but you've written, Mr. Boyle and Mr. Brenton? And why is Mr. Brenton shut shop from Pontefract, where he was selling the books, 3 Baileygate, which people all know I'm telling the truth? That's closed down. He's moved from his house. He's also had 2 shops, like they were like pound shops. He sold them. He also had a phone shop. That's been sold. So it's funny how he sold everything. And the judge said to me on the day, he said, what they'll probably do is start selling things cheaper And by the time you go to the court, there'll be no books left. They'll get clean house, he calls it. So they'll have no books left. And everything the judge said, Judge Gargan was right, and Judge Cook said the same. But by law, they have to tell you if they're going bankrupt. And if they've gone bankrupt without telling the people, which is us, we're the partners, because they've given us, say, 37.5%. If you bring me into a business, you've got a business, and I'm working with you, if I don't pay you that percentage, it's called a breach of contract, and that's what they've done. Or it's called, I can't remember the name, I keep getting mixed up, breach of contract, or a default judgment. It's called the default judgment. You've defaulted on the judgment. So he's defaulted on the judgment with the judge as well, because the judge ordered them to give me the stuff. So when Kevin Brown went as a Mackenzie friend, Kevin worked for Parliament for 6 years, really clever man, really clever with the law, and he knows. He had an MP he worked for, carried the paperwork for him and everything in the House of Parliament for 6 years. He worked for him, and he learned him loads of stuff, this bloke, this MP. And he said that if I've lost my story now, forgot my story. He said when he went to court, I think I've got my story now, fucking hell. He said that was it. He said, so can Mr. Turner have his book back to the judge? And the judge, we were listening to it, we were in the court hearing with the phones, and he turned on the judge and said, yes, Mr. Turner's book goes, but no, that's what he said to him. Sorry, he said, how many books did you? So they didn't know this, Boyle and Brenton, that Kevin had went and got the paperwork from all these outlets and shops and got all the proof of Goodreads, Codreads, Waterstones, and all these outlets where the books were sold. So when he went to court, the judge asked him, because Brenton and Boyle never turned up at the time on the phone, so he was asking Kevin the questions. Kevin would give him a bundle, it's called. So he give him a bundle to the judge. Now the bundle, in that bundle, it showed you how many books were sold in Waterstones and W.H. Smith's, just for instance, and all these other shops. So when Brenton come up, he was late. So he said, why are you late? He said, blah, 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 make an excuse. Boyle said the same shite. But they didn't know that the judge had already got this paperwork. So the judge just sat there with about 6 pieces of paper with all the invoices from the shops, Waterstone, the name, the managers, everything. How many did you sell in Waterstone? Mr. Brenton, he went, 3 books. I went, right, 3 books. On the thing, it was like 47. How many books did you sell in on from your shop where you work? You went 1. Put on there 1. How many books did you sell from such and such a shop? How many books did you sell on gardeners? He went, oh, such and such. And at the end of it all, the judge stopped. He said, so that was 6 questions there, and he asked him another 4. So he said, can you just stop now? So he went, no, what it was, and he started arguing with the judge, and he started shouting, Brenton, and he went, listen to me when I'm talking. I'm the judge. Be quiet. I'm making a judgment now. He says, I've just asked you 10 different questions, and you've just given me 10 lies. No, what do you mean lies? I remember exactly. He says, well, I've got the invoices here. He did that noise, or you can hear it on the phone. He said, that shop. In the end, it was something like 230 books. He went, so there's a big cry from 37 books to 230 odd books. So he lied about this. So the judge said, so as of now, it's a default judgment. I now award the book back to Martin Joseph Turner, and I want you to give all the outlets and all the money what's been paid for this book. And they've never done it to Paul Martin. He's passed away now. So the dirty fucking scumbag lowlife fuckers ripped an old man off, nearly 80-year-old, and tortured his 83 and 84-year-old sisters and fucking tortured the family just because he asked for his book back. And then the judge awarded Kevin it back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, go
on.
Are you moving on there? Move up on there. Oh, that burn on your leg's terrible. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so we've got.
There's the book. What we he says we haven't got it. We're lying about it. And there's the back of the thing there with John Blitt. There's what do you call it? Paedophile on the back. Paul Sykes.
Oh, what's he called? No, it's not Paul Sykes. It's Denny Flint.
He's a paedophile anyway. So he's the paedophile in the back. Dennis Flint, because he was the one with the BBC with Jimmy Savile who used to do the orgies and everything in his house in Scarborough. So these some of the things Emma's going to read out. Not all of the book because it'll fucking bore you to death, but This is just to prove that I've never read this book. I've never given my consent to do it. Jamie said to me just before Emma comes on, "God, we've got to get the book in now because Rob's going away for 3 months. If you don't do it now, it could be a year before we get in print." So I went, "No, I need to check it. I need to proofread it." He went, "No, trust me explicitly." Shirley went, "No, trust us, honest, trust us, Brian, trust us." So I trusted him, and this is what happened.
So, right, I decided, I was speaking to the lad that's doing Brian's new book, and I decided to obtain a hard copy of somebody. But I started at the back because I was just thinking, oh my word, I don't really want to look at this because I just knew it was going to be garbage, but I didn't quite realise how narcissistic he was.
You talk about narcissist, unbelievable.
So, as you know, when you do a book with somebody, it's got to be about the subject, right?
Not the author.
I can't find them stronger glasses, my eyes terrible. So, the first page was what got me. And how he started the book off was, it was Lee Duffy who introduced me to the dark side, exactly like in Star Wars, except I was Luke Skywalker and he was Darth Vader.
Can you honestly imagine Brian Cockerill attacks, man? One of the toughest people in the Northeast ever, talking like that, like an 8-year-old kid.
Oh, thanks, Bull. And then, so you're just something you wouldn't do. So when I looked at the back, I thought, right, I can't look at the front anymore. I've got to go at the back. So he's put on more or less every page. I'll start with that better one first. Right. I want the one with Jamie. Where it is. 2 seconds. I know a Sky Sports presenter and
this
former.
This talking, is it?
It's supposed to be Brian talking about.
I don't know any Sky presenters. Right?
So he's put, I know a Sky Sports presenter and a former world cruiserweight champion, Johnny Nelson.
Heard of them, I don't know.
So really, it should have said, it's just all wrong.
It's all made up, and it just lies.
Told Jamie Boyle in one of his books, the one thing is those kids who terrorised Paul Sykes once over in his final days would not have any idea that once upon a time the fear that man could I can't even understand what they've put. It's absolutely crank. Up until around, this is supposed to be Brian, up until around 1991, Paul Sykes was as dangerous and as powerful as you could get for fighting. So
is that when 1991 when I went and I took £1,200 off him, and then I went back 6 months later and took £20,000 with the ornaments off him, meaning Dave Garside. So this is a tough man. So he's made out like Brian's bigging Sykes up, which, as we know, Brian would never do. As you know, my brother was raped and by a paedophile, hanged himself. So I'd never have Paul Sykes in my book.
So I turn to the next page and it says...
It proves I've never proofread it. Yeah.
The truth being told... Oh, I can't see all these British glasses. The truth being told, I wasn't a fan of Jamie Boyles when I used to watch him on YouTube or see him in the papers.
Just tell them, just 2 seconds. I've never watched YouTube. Emma showed me how to do it. And I never ever YouTube did Emma.
No.
And I never ever knew Jamie Boyle. Only once when he tried to get contact, I went, no, I'm not interested.
So he's like made out as if Brian's like
being... years,
Or seen him or when I used to see him in the papers, he had some balls come looking for me in the first place.
Never come on for me.
So the bloke's transformed, meaning Jamie's transformed my life. This is supposed to be Brian.
Okay,
and he's turned out to be the most genuine, best people. But he's talked about Jamie. Can I just point this out? Because she's pointed out on a few occasions my misspelling of friend, which is easily done. So she's supposed to be a top secretary and a top typist, this, that, and the other.
Bullshit.
So this is one of the things I noticed, right? And it says, the bloke's transformed my life and he's turned out to be one of the most genuine best people I've ever met. I know me and the strange little fucker are going to do lots of things, i.e. documentaries, books, etc., etc. The pair of us have only just begun our fight to straighten Teesside out. And Jamie and Shirley Ann
sounds like Batman and Robin.
Will be my friends for life, and anything they ever need, I'll be there. And before you want to start reporting channels for me mentioning names, this is Brian's book. right? And this is what's wrote about him, so you haven't got a chance, right?
Yeah.
It's all about him, all about Jamie.
I'm supposed to be. You haven't even heard me yet. It's all supposed to be about me. The book. It's my book about me, telling him what to say, and he's just made a load of shite up. I was Luke Skywalker. Eh? What the fuck's Luke Skywalker got to do with the taxman?
So then he said, as I've said for the past 6 months,
never read it.
Since me and Jamie Boyle teamed up, it doesn't matter how small someone is, it only takes the strength to pull a trigger and kill someone the size of Brian Cockerill. It could be I've had a worse life than Leatherface, Speedy, Horsby, so why the fuck is Brian Cockerill still alive, walking the streets? Question mark, apostrophe. If underworld crime was a business, I was Bill Gates, Steve Jobs or Simon Cowell, but I know that's not something to be proud of.
What the fuck
would Brian...
Would I? You know me, everyone is.
Align yourself with
Simon I would talk about Simon Cowell being like the fucking taxman. Nothing remotely like me. Or fucking Bill Gates, toffee nose cunt. Greedy bastard.
These are just some of them.
What a fucking crank.
Then this is the most hilarious one. Often, the police would want to arrest me for jaywalking across the road. Well, jaywalking, that's something you get done for in America.
Yeah,
jaywalking.
It means you've got nothing in your pockets, no money, you've got nothing. You walk across the road, you need to get hit by a car, and they pull you in. They say, if you've got any money, it's like a vacancy. What I said to him, I told him a couple of jokes. I said, the police wanted me that bad to the old days, they'd even arrest me for walking down the street in the early hours of the morning in a loud shirt. It was a joke. And then I said, the other one was, they'd even try to arrest me for attempting to cross the road. And he never put that in. So he wanted to put his own stuff in, just a crank. It was a joke, you know. Because
I've never heard nothing like it in my life.
Yeah, so it's all about Jamie. It's my book.
Then one of these chapters, he's called it, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse.
Now, you know that's not The Godfather. No fucking respecting villain like myself would try and copy off a film called The Godfather, which everybody knows that film. I wouldn't. Why would I talk like a fucking clown and make a fool of myself? Because he's the clown with all the shit. I'll give you an offer you can't refuse. It's fucking shit.
It's absolutely hilarious.
It is being written. We've talked to their top publishing firm and 2 top publishers, writers, and they've said it's like an 8-year-old buggy. And if you've seen the state of the front cover book where he's done the cartoon, it looks like a 5-year-old drew it. And it's full of spelling mistakes. The lad who read it said there's 37 spelling mistakes. He spelled God with a little G.
Yeah, I've noticed that tonight. He has spelled God with a little G instead of a large G. So surely, you need to get your...
Yeah, you need to stop. Yeah, it looks like a 5-year-old.
God spelled with a capital G in all sentences.
A big g.
So he's put...
both of them.
He's put, I'm so thankful Jamie has given me a second chance.
Fucking hell.
Right? I think the biggest thank you that I need to say, I'd like to give it to, is the little weirdo, once again, is Jamie's words, is Jamie and his gorgeous wife, Mrs. Shirley.
Gorgeous! Gorgeous!
It was Jamie who came and sniffed me out like a bloodhound when I was in a bad place at the horrendous time. When he wasn't even sure I might have brayed him for what he typed in another book, right? So, I mean, it's all about
him
once again. Right, 2 seconds. Right, where's this one? Because I got it earlier and it was class, wasn't it? These are only some of the ones.
Hell, man.
The actual foreword for the book, right, is what he's put in. It's all about Jamie. All about Jamie. Brian did a community tandem terrorising. Brian Cock 2020 is exactly what it says in the tin. By Jamie Boyle.
It's all Jamie Boyle. There's never, that's it. There's my name being once there, about 30 pages. Jamie Boyle, I've wrote this book, and I have wrote books on him, and I've wrote books on him, and I, me, all the way through until he talks about himself. Gorgeous wife. Fucking hell. She's that gorgeous, you have to go and pay women. You have to go and pay women for this. You've even admitted this.
I've never seen so many mistakes
in a short space of time.
In a real short space of time, yeah.
Then look at that. Look at the show that, Babs. Look at the size of that. Jamie Boyle again. Look, big writing. Every page he's got his name written on every single page. An absolute narcissistic.
As if he's like
pair of cranks.
As if he's like doing.
And he's right when he said, "Sniff me out like 2 fucking pigs." They're both of them. Piggy eyes. She found the pies. and I've gone to win, and that he said, she's read it there. She said, he gave me such a platform to stand on because he brought him back from the dead. What a fucking crank!
There again. So you've already heard him say one of the biggest things, thank yous I've got to give out is to Jamie Boyle, right? So how many times he's put that in his book, I don't know.
That's about 18 times.
So now he's put one of the biggest things for me in doing this book with Jamie Boyle and other bits and pieces we're going to be doing is to let people know that a book by Steve Richards wasn't the real Brian Cockerill. It wasn't wrote good. All he wanted to talk about was fighting and taxing, but there's a much bigger side to this. I'm only glad after more than 13 years I can finally set the record straight at last because I don't like people being scared of me before they know me. By Jamie Boyle.
Oh, yeah, by Jamie Boyle. So it never ends. Never put my name in it there. By Jamie Boyle. By Jamie Boyle. By the end of the book, it's got about fucking 40 Jamie. I don't know, but more on it.
Yeah. Where's it? Well, this is really, really funny. What about when he said that you're straightening Teesside out?
Oh yeah,
you and him.
Me and him are going to straighten Teesside out, and they were on a campaign to straighten Teesside out. You were on a campaign to rip every cunt off. That's what you were, and that's what you did. And that's what we're doing now. We're putting you to bed. We're putting you to bed now because we've done everything. I've gone out and proved to everyone that you are a pure narcissistic little bully. It's all about you, Shirley, you. The book, but when I did books like Steve Richards, he said, the book's not about me, and I'm so grateful you've given me this opportunity. Lee Watley said the same, to do the Tax Man book, and without your stories and without your input, we wouldn't have a book. But he has to change it his way and makes a fucking fool of people. It's Luke Skywalker.
I have got a purpose now.
Oh my
I
God.
believe God, spelled with a little G.
Shirley, a big G.
Right, you need a big G.
This is the woman who works for the Sick Advice Bureau. Can't even spell God.
So I believe that God, God, with a little G.
I believe
that God sent me that little weirdo, Jamie Boyle, so he could give me the platform I needed to reach tens of thousands. Although I refuse to give that Jamie Boyle any credit, it's Mrs. B, aka Shirley Worley, who is a real star.
So it's Boyle and Shirley again.
So that's just a few that I've noticed for tonight, but I'm going to pick right through it. And then we're going to take it apart the next few nights. I'm going to nip on for a few minutes and pick out some more shite out of it. And then we're going to show you what's going to happen to it. Don't press that at the end of it. That does nothing, you know. So we're just going to pick it apart, and then Jamie and her are going to bed for the rest of the days because they're not worthy.
He gave me a platform. Well, I'd already done the McIntyre. It's been seen by nearly 5 million people. I did the Essex Boys one. I did the Charlie Bronson book with Charlie Bronson. It was £1.2 million it made. Salty Fitness. I did one with Jugger, who was holding the pads in the back garden, called Street Fighters. I did Viv 3. I did Lee Duffy and Viv Graham. I did.
That doesn't look like Brian at the back, does it? It looks like you. It
looks like little Bensley, my mate. Looks nothing like me. I did Parallel Legs, Lee Duffy and Viv Graham, Scottish Hard Bastards. I did The Spaces of the Underworld. I did about, I think, something like 12, 15 books have been mentioned in. And he's trying to say that all them other books of other people are shite, but he's the best author ever. Fucking crank, absolute crank. And you've got to remember, his company was an illegal company where he put these books in. I was working with John Blake Publishing, one of the biggest companies in Britain. They're massive. And I worked with Steve Richards when I did The Taxman. And I did the other one with Stephen Ray for Emma and Neil Jackson. They were brilliant companies. We got our invoices, we got our pay slips, we got how many books have been printed. And as soon as he asked for them, I asked Stephen Ray, could you send us some of the inventory of the book and all that? Steve went, yeah, no problem. 5 minutes it took the man. 5 minutes and it all come on my phone. He just went in the computer, pushed the button, sent all the invoices to me. So I knew exactly where I was at and what I was owed and what I could spend and whatever. And that was done with Stephen Ray. But with him, I asked him for 2.5 years in court. And that's why we had to go to court with the judge to force the order. And he gives us a disclosure in the end. And that's why we won the court case. And this is why your book's been took off you, what you've done with me, because you've robbed me. And the judge knows that. So now, we are now, we're in with Amazon now. And they're going to be going through all the books to see how many have been sold on there, what prices, when, and where, whatever. And we've got the lady from Amazon doing it, haven't we?
Yeah. Rob? Are you Quiver River? Irish Bull? Sasso Girl? Let's see if any of these. Let's have a look. Hangman Audits. Sometimes you don't read these out, do you?
Yeah, read them all.
Only godless evens was fall for God with a small g. Yeah, you're right. And that's very, very true. But she's one of these who, you know, if you comment back to her, she says, oh, you can't spell properly to me.
Yeah, she's just a horrible
So I put the
old
I
hag,
before the...
old hag she is. An old bag.
But I can't believe it's like...
I said to her, I said, can't we just stop the arguing with Terry and all this, like the other, and try to make it nice? She went, how dare you, Northern Asset? How dare you speak to me like I'm a child? I mean, you're a fucking loopy, you're definitely loopy.
But I just can't believe how much he says.
Me.
Says, and I want to thank Jamie and Shirley.
I never said that once.
They have given me a platform. It shows you that you can be washed up, but find somebody like Jamie and take care of me.
Yeah, well, how he took care of me, robbed me blind and ripped all my fucking money off us and never paid us a penny.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. He said, glad to see you, Emma. Much love as always. Oh, thank you, Steve. That's the look. I have the one with Emma and Steve and Bo did book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then let me have a look. So 2 of hearts, what in it? 2 secs. All right, Emma and Brian. Hey, Graham, are you all right? Hangman, nice one. I'm following the channels, liking stuff. I reckon I should be. I'm embarrassed and ashamed I've been sucked in. Everyone, I'm learning. Yeah, don't worry, Vanda. We all make mistakes, don't we?
Of course, we all make mistakes. We made the mistake with him, didn't we? Look at the devil with the snake, like the apple, you know, in the Garden of Eden. You know what I mean? So, Garden of Eden. So that's what he is. He was not sent by God. He was sent by the devil. Because our church leaders, I won't mention the names, every one of them, and other people I know, even Catholics and Protestants and Muslims have said, he's definitely demonic. He's demonic, and hundreds of people have said it. He's definitely not right in the head. He's definitely away with the fairies. His own nephew said he's away with the fairies, completely away with the fairies. Everything he does has got to be. You can't just say, I've done a good book, or me and Brian have done a book. He's got, this and me, and I'm the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Jamie.
Carol.
Okay, now it never stops.
Carol, I dread to think what's in them other books.
And that's what I had to put up with every day of the week, with that narcissistic I've done this and I've done that. And when we went on shows, he'd butt in, you couldn't get a fucking word in to talk. You went on with Gary Fairbairn, and somebody said, that wasn't the Gary Fairbairn show, that was a Jamie Boyle show.
But it's literally like blotting paper, isn't it?
It's cheap, tacky, like in the 1970s when I was a kid.
And that's a page, so there's pages with nothing on, isn't there?
You got paper, and the paper's like that as blotting paper. When you used to have the ink pens in the old days, you used to have ink and it would spill, and you'd put it on your table like that, the paper, and it would dry up the ink when you were a kid in the 1970s. So that's old-fashioned paper from the 1940s, 50s.
And he's put quotes in that you would never quote.
It's just shite.
Like absolute
So
garbage.
what he's doing, like she's just said, he's got maybe 40 pages blank with a little tiny bit like that, look, all over them. So the book, say there's 200 pages in it, 40 pages of nothing.
Get my, Bobby, pass my big phone, just so I can read what Lee noticed, because he noticed some really good stuff. And Bobby, pass my big phone. Yeah, he said yeah. But I hate that cover, do you?
Pathetic.
It
looks like a kid, you know, when you're a kid, you're about 8 years old, and you're drawing, and the teachers teach you how to draw. That looks like the kid's drawing. Look at the state of that. That's supposed to look at this. It looks nothing like me. Not one remotely like me at all. Right. Nothing whatsoever like me. He's absolute crank.
So I was speaking to Lee yesterday, and he was the one that first pointed out.
He just said that. He said if you went to John Blake with that, or you went to Penguin, they'd just throw it in the bin. We'll show you what we're going to do with it tomorrow. You watch what I'm going to do with it tomorrow. You watch.
There before Jamie. So it's another one here.
It's going to be Jamie again. Never heard that.
So it says, before Jamie Boyle came along, obviously, in brackets, that was the other book Brian had wrote about him, but he's putting that was before Jamie Boyle came along in brackets, more or less, as if it's done it properly.
Like a fucking angel.
And then it's put,
this
is hilarious, right? I've written a lot of true crime books, such as Paul Sykes and Lee Duffy, Roy Shaw, and Dominic Negus, etc.
Never paid any of them.
And you know the word, it's like an expression. It's swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
It's swings and roundabouts. So your legalised top of the range secretary and your number one best-selling author has put in swings and roundabouts, and in the end, well, the end, can't understand that they didn't want to become. I think Brian Cockerill is just another statistic of this.
So
Jamie Boyle again.
That's him off his head, smacked out his head as
Again,
usual.
Jamie.
Up Jamie Boyle. Before the great, amazing Jamie Deany come along and talked a lot of fucking bullshit. So when he got me to do the book, he went, if you don't do it now, it could be a year before it gets in print. Trust me. And Shirley was doing all this, begging me to do it. And then later on, I realised he was knocking books out every 3 months. So when you do a book every 3 months, that's shit, because he's doing spelling mistakes. He's doing not everything. He never gets it proofread off the expert. I give it to Tony Grange, who was out church anyway. Them words in there aren't your words. Have you read it? I went, no, I haven't even read it. He said, because I gave him it before. I got so many books for family and friends. He said, have you read it? I mean, my niece said, Uncle Brian, that's not your words. You don't talk like that. My sister said it. My uncle said it. Emma said it. Everyone I know said, that's not you talking. Other people who live around here, who are friends, will give it to. But it's not your words. Putting in
So
words.
basically, I told somebody yesterday.
So what he does, he just takes over everything like a pure narcissist in here, and she's a narcissist. So if you've got two narcissists together, they haven't got a chance to do nothing. It's always got to be their way or the highway. My name Daniel Dial. I'm the greatest doll forever. Told you he was a pure crank. That's in my book. Him talking about me, not himself, in my book. But it's supposed to be about me, the subject. All the way through it. And then he's got about 28 pages about Lee Duffy. It's not about Lee Duffy, it's about my book. So he's starting to fill the book up with stories of Lee Duffy, because he knows about stories about Lee in his books. So he's filling the book up with Lee Duffy stories, because he hasn't got any more stories to put in about me.
Carol, wait till I've got to
So he uses people like, he'll use somebody like Dominic Needs' stories. He'll take some of it, whatever fucking book. Each book he takes little bits of extracts out, puts them in together and makes a bigger book. So like the Lee Duffy books, if you've read one, you've read them all, because they're all the same books, just the words have changed a little bit.
Yeah, definitely Paul, Tony Grange, love Tony Grange.
Great lad, Tony.
Yeah.
Great boxer.
Absolutely brilliant. Brian did a podcast with Tony. If you look back, there's one on the beginning of the channel.
It was actually Tony, to be quite honest, who was there on the night when we were at the place, who actually got hold of him and put him in the corner out of the way to be like, we stopped all the trouble. The lads beating him up because they were all going to bash him. Tony grabbed over and said, come on, get in the corner, because you're causing mayhems. And he sat him down.
Carol, it's horrendous. You want to see it? There's like, how she can say she's anything, I don't know.
She's just what she is, a narcissistic bully. Billy Bear, big Billy Bunter. And she just sits eating all day because she just thinks another book, more money, another book. So all we weren't subjects. We were just fucking used. We were just pawns in a book to make money for them. And that's what they've done. They've ripped everyone off. And they've sat now. They haven't got a carrot. They haven't got a car. They haven't got a house. They haven't got a fucking thing. They've got nothing. They've got nothing now. They've got no reputation. And there's another thing you never do. He was slagging Steve Richards, the author who did all the other books. He's worth about £6, £7, £8 million.
Carol, I'm not just saying
this. Multi-millionaire, Stephen Richards, right? And he lives in fucking, I can't remember where it is now, fucking abroad. And also, Donald McIntyre is the biggest crime person in the UK, probably one of the biggest in the world. He's got television companies all over Ireland, television companies in America. He does massive documentaries all over the world. And he's telling you, saying, oh, he wasn't that good, that documentary. I could have done a better one. Well, you did one with me and Neil Jackson and Emma, didn't he, Emma?
Yeah.
And what was it like on the day when he did that documentary when he was on the blues outside the house?
I've never seen nothing like it.
Outside the house when I got done in, tell him what he was doing with the one with the phone.
Right, so
when I got chopped up.
Was demanding to go and film at Tommy Harrison's, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Old house, but it's now got a new tenant.
Yeah.
And he was trying to grab the phone out of the woman's hands when she was talking to somebody. And the man who was the owner of the house, who Brian knows very well, and his son would flatten anyone, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
he he then started shouting and screaming down the phone. But Brian didn't know none of this because obviously he was talking to Neil. And then he was texting Shirley, wasn't he? And she was on the phone. What has he said to Jamie? And I think he called them peasants, didn't he?
Yeah, peasants.
And they couldn't get over it, could they?
Said,
how dare you call me peasants?
Said, get back to your peasant home. And he went, I've never been so insulted. No, anything you say, they always say that same shit.
And then what else did they do? That was the same day they got my phone and messaged Dave Thomas.
They said to Dave Thomas, I'm in Eston now, and Brian Cockerill's going to punch you all over your house. I'm going to set your caravan right with your grandkids in it. And I'm going to make you the biggest, when you go viral all over the world, I'm going to give you a viral. I'm going to video Brian beating you up. He said, well, I'm going to have to phone the police. So I got on the phone, texted me, and he went, Brian said nothing. Brian sat next to me. He went, what a fucking horrible.
So he'd been through my phone and been through my messages and
stole it.
Dave off my phone. And then I got my phone back and realised, didn't I?
And Dave
he used to always get my phone, didn't he? And
well, what did he do when he gets
and delete phone? People. That's
what does he do when he gets your phone though?
He copies messages out of it, and then he'll send them to Shirley, and then they'll manipulate the messages. Where she said,
I'll blackmail you.
You can unbelievable what I could do with 2 phones.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what I can do with 2 phones, Emma. You wouldn't believe I can send a message to you, send it back to Brian, and send it to me, then send it back to Brian. It'll look like it's come from you.
And every couple's have arguments. So we had an argument one time, and they took that bloody thingy out the phone, didn't they? Then they made it into some madness.
What they've done is they said, he's doing the book. So I said, I'm not doing the book. So I had this book was obviously terrible. So the next book, I said, I want to proofread it. So I was doing the book about me and Lee Duffy. I was telling them the stories. He was doing it all of a sudden. I gave him 30,000 words, I think it was, or 50. And he went, I've done 80,000. I went, well, how have you done 80,000? I've given you 50. I've told you I want to do my way. No, trust me. I said, no, you said that last time you looked at the fucking state of that book you done. He said, no, it's perfect. I said, no, I want to do my own way. So then I ended up saying to him, they were doing a documentary about Lee Duffy. So I was in it, and Paul Suggett was over the moon, movie director, and the lad who has a radio station, nice lad. So I said, I'm not doing this documentary on Lee. He said, why? He said, because he's got me. He said, Lee was like a monster, and Lee was going to go around like the Terminator and beat everyone. I used to get the money, but Lee used to be sadistic and like to beat people up. I went, that never happened. And he never walked into the King's Head pub, or the other pub, what he said, and went in and beat and grabbed the man and woman and took all the money off the wages off them and used it to go down the town drinking. And Lee Duffy never done that ever. He never ever taxed couples. They're man and woman are working all week and they're out drinking. He'd go, all right, and he'd be polite to them. He was never rude to ladies. He was never rude to women. He never swore in front of kids. And he was very polite. And he's got him in there as a monster. You know, like that. I said, I'm out of this. He said, oh, you can't because you've signed it. I went, listen, Paul, I don't want to follow you. I'm not going in there. He said, but the thing is, Brian, without your comments and you in there's nobody credible in there because everyone else is about 25-year-old when Lee died. I said, well, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it for him. He was saying that I used to kick the doors in, which is true, but Lee couldn't do that because his foot was bad. And I was a lot bigger now. I was 9 stone, a bit bigger than he. So I kicked the door and we'd go in and tax him. He said he used to do it because he wanted to get Brian Cockerill shot so he could take over because he was bigger than Brian again. Because he was jealous of Brian Cockerill. He wasn't fucking jealous of me at all.
So I've only had a little glance through it, but I'm going to have I'm going to go and study it now, and I'm going to go for a group call. Then I'm going to go and study this, and then we'll do a proper analysis on it tomorrow.
Yeah. And
then we're looking to do the grand finale because we've got something really exciting happening in the next few days, haven't we?
Yeah.
When we finish talking about this.
Yeah. And then we're going to just put it to bed because I'm not going to waste any more breath on him. So I went out my way to fucking ruin him and finish him. And I know for a fact that's what I've done. Yeah, I've fucking ruined you, you peasant.
And at the end of the day, you're a household name, aren't you? So, yeah, I mean, what can you...
You're just a peasant. I'm a fucking household name peasant. So you get back, you can't go back to your house because you're all the rent. You spent it all on drugs. So you haven't got a carrot to scratch your ass with. You've had the last book you made off me was this one, the audio one's been taken down. You'll never, ever get any more money out of me. And this is what I've did. I did this. That book went just before you go to back me up. She came up and she went, this book's getting done whether you like it or not. So Emma said, it's not like. And she said, well, we're going to go ahead without you. She said, we'll go ahead, we'll do you for, what was it called?
Well, I'll tell this story because I will tell the actual truth on it now. So, Brian was doing Once Upon a Time in Teesside, weren't you?
Yeah, that was the book about
And
Lee.
the book, so they'd got it 3/4 of the way done, you reckon, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right? So they said they were still putting it out there anyway. So they did use somebody else to put that book out, and they said he was going to be a narrator or something. And that's when I've posted on the community pages snippets from it when it's been Brian's stories in it still.
Yeah.
So that book he did give to somebody else to do.
Yeah.
But
what I'm saying was the book what he was doing with us, he turned around and said to me, Emma, she said, well, if you don't do the book, Emma Cockerill, I'm going to give out your argument what you and Brian had on the phone 4 months ago. So she borrowed her phone 4 months prior, knowing she was going to use it to try and for leverage. So Emma went, well, I lost my mum when I was 14 and a half. I've lived on my own fucking feet and with my family. And you don't fucking know me. You want to meet me now, you fucking horrible thing. Come and meet me now. You're bullying me. You're bullying me. And you fucking big fat shit out shit. So I'm frightened for all that shit like he does. And then we went, see, now you're not so clever. I'll be your big mouth. She said, you do your worst. Well, it's going to look good when I say this. And I said, well, you do your worst, she said. But I'm going to go ahead with it. So what did I do? I got Rob Brenton, War Cry Pumps and War Cry Press, to give me. I said, look, I don't want to work with him, so I conned him into doing it. I said, give me the proof what's been written, because in the Resurrection of Brian Cockerill made a pig's ear of it. I just want proof of you, Rob, because he'd already given 50,000 words. And he said he did 80, so I want to check them words. He said, well, I'll send that to you now, but don't let Shirley and Jamie know. Oh, fuck you. Anyway, he sent me it. And I started reading it. I went, Lee Duffy was a bully, and Lee Duffy was this. I went, you know what? You're getting fuck all. So I went, 5, 4. She went, what's she doing? Then we went, he's counting down, he's giving the book away for free. So I give all the content was there written out, 80, 90,000 words. I give it away free because of my friend Lee Duffy. But the great thing was, Carol come on, she come on, she went, imagine doing this on the anniversary of Lee Duffy. I said, you've just now put that was the thing, the catalyst when she said that. It was Lee's anniversary, he died 30 years. So I said, right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's now been given away. I sent it to thousands of people all over the world so we couldn't print that book on my friend because I wouldn't want to sell him down the river, especially with Carol and that and the kids and that. I just wouldn't do that to him.
And they've recently been
so she said, just let me finish this bit. And she said, if you want, we will give you double the money. I went, we're not interested in the fucking money. It's about our Emma knew him well and I knew him. And we know Carol and that. I said, so it's all about Laurie Duffy as well and all the family. We don't want anything to do with you. And that was it, wasn't it?
And so they've been saying recently the taxman in Teesside is shite. Right, so that's been coming from their camp recently.
Yeah, well, a bit that shite.
Well, can I just finish? So Carol, like Carol said, it's the only one she's ever contributed to. Do you know what I mean? So that shows you how shite it is. It's actually people actually Lee, not women.
Most people who've read it have said this is the most true version of Lee Duffy and Brian Cockerill because it's come from the truth of Brian Cockerill and Emma Cockerill and the good people at Teesside. We went round people who knew Lee, sat them down, they give their version. We'd phone up and say, you're coming up for something to eat. We'd come up for something to eat, and we'd say, is that okay what we put? They might have put 5 pages about Lee. And he'd go, yeah, brilliant, that's marvellous. And then we'd ask Carol, is that okay? And she'd go, yeah. And then if Carol wanted something taken out or whatever, we'd say, whatever you want. So we asked permission off the families, and we did the book. And we never called Lee nothing because there was nothing to call him. He wasn't a fucking sadistic bully. He was really good to old people as well. He used to get the stuff back if they got robbed, a bit like me. And he was really good. One thing he hated was snitches, police informers, snitches. He said, Brian, you could knock grass at grass. There's no such thing as grass in a grass. And never forget the saying. It was in just near the flyover, I can't remember the fucking name of the place now. South Bank down there. We was going down the road South Bank, and he said, "There's no such thing as grass in the grass." And that's what you are, Boyle. You're the biggest police informer. We proved to everyone. Now, because you're never off here when I'm getting the authorities on you, I'm getting you locked up, but you haven't just done that to me there, you've done it to everyone. Peter Duffy, Teddy Dicko, young Teddy, Kev Kilty, Richard Kilty, you've done it to fucking hundreds of people, Dale Brennan Hyde, Dave Thomas, and go on and on and on and on. You're a narcissistic bully, and you're one of them people, I'm stealing your friends off you, I've got Rich Yorsey on my side now, I've got Kev Rich, I've got this one, I've got that one, I've got Terry, you're just an idiot, and now you've just look a complete fucking divvy in Teesside, a snitch, and you've tried to pay us off by giving us more money to do the Lee Duffy documentary and the Lee Duffy book, and then I've done it. And the document in the book was fucking shite. You're in the pub and you're going, yawning like 17 times yawning. That means you're coming down off smack. That's a smack rattle. So it proves what he is.
I've only seen.
Right, leave it, right?
No, I'm going to go off. You can carry on.
I'm just knackered.
Sean Atwood, if you listen, that wasn't meant for you. I'm just crazy without my glasses, aren't I?
Fucking hell, you fell there. Fucking hell. Fucking back's killing me tonight. Terrible for 3 days, I've been. Won't be on long tonight, guys. It's killing me in my back. So that scumbag wanted me to do the documentary, and he said he never said it. She went, I'll tell everyone the argument. Yeah. So what, we had an argument on the fucking phone. She said, he said, who gives a fuck? You tried to tell me the couples don't argue, and you made it all up with shit. I'm going to put your argument on the internet all over. How good is that going to look for you? So that was 4 months before. She said, can I borrow your phone? And she used the content. She didn't know the argument was on there, but she sent all of our messages. Like Boyle would do it, her husband, and I borrow your phone. He'd use it, cloned Marty's phone. Did it with Dennis Power, another boxing promoter. You're a fucking weirdo. You like watching men go in showers and take the clothes off. You are one fucking weirdo, you. But no one, I've said to you all along, it was never about the money with me. It was the dignity and pride of the book with Lee, the dignity and pride with the book with other people I've done subjects. I didn't want to sit here and call. He even went on the Sean Atwood show and went and called Lee Duffy's mum, who's passed away, calling a dead woman, calling his dad, slagging Lee Duffy's dad. Lee would have fucking killed you, stone dead, you fucking horrible little turd. A turd. You're a fucking stain on fucking Middlesbrough, a stain. That's why your own family and none of your fucking people want to know you. No one wants you anywhere near them. You give me a platform, you fucking crank. I've done the McIntyre documentary. Massive. Been seen 19 countries. I did the one with the Essex boys with fucking Bernard Mahoney. Been seen all over the fucking place. I had the Mia top people. I did the Faces of the Underworld, Gangster of the Underworld. I've done that, something like 12 books, 14, 15 documentaries, 2 movies. And you're going to give me a platform. I'm a fucking household name. You're a crank. Everywhere you go, Liverpool, Manchester, Doncaster, wherever, people know the tax man because of the documentaries and the books I've done for over 20 years. You've come along a little chancer, like you said. Yeah, a little chancer, but I found you out and I found you wanting. And I've proved to the public what you are, a fucking liar. So there's the book. So why don't you report me to the police if that's your book? If you've got the rights to it, why don't you do something? Why can't you do something? Because you can't. Because the Amazon's onto you. And what's happening now, you're getting fraud companies are onto you. And what's going to happen to you, son? You're going to go to jail. And when Fatty Yates gets caught, she will fucking blow the whistle on you in a second. It wasn't me, it was him. It was his idea. He's walked right publishing. Because that's what she's done. She's conned you fucking mug. Because in every book, she's never put a name to one book, but she's kept all the money. And you've had the money sent to your account, and then her account, and your account, and their account. So it's all to down to where she'll go, it's him, it was him who done it. It wasn't me. You'll go to jail, and she'll get off, and she'll just fuck off for someone. And while you're in there, she'll be bang, bang, banging someone else. Bang, bang, the mighty power. So the narcissists there, they're just like 2 divvies. John Smith, professional balloon. Yes, mate, you're right. He's a balloon. He is a complete balloon, mate. The professional balloon slayer. I like that one. Yeah, he's a big balloon, mate. Horrible. So there's Carol, Sue girl, the OK girl. Nice when the girls are on and talk to each other, and then you don't say it's all men that. So whenever and that talking, it's great. But we always said to you, I'd tell you the truth. I used to bully you, so I love you. I always said I'd tell you hangman's audits. Lemmy, I haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been? Fucking hell, Lemmy, where have you been? John Smith. I like John Smith. Graham Rock. Jamie Boyle's Rock Hard. Oh, fuck, that's you talking about yourself, you crank. Jamie Boyle is selling a book. Advertised it on page now. Balloon Man, Lee Duffy at $14.95. Well, you might be advertising, but you're not selling it, you fucking divvy. You haven't got any books, moron. You're a moron, absolute moron. Where's the resurrection book, moron? Moron. No one's buying your books, you fucking divvy. Absolute divvy. So well, get the police on me. Why don't you grasp me to the police? They're calling you a big fat balloon. Big balloon head. You haven't got a carrot to scratch your ass with. Your fucking house has been smashed and obliterated. Paint all over it. Walls kicked in, doors kicked in, windows kicked in. And you've ran away like a little bitch, haven't you? You've ran away out of the town because you can't come back to Teesside. Because I don't want you in my area. Get out of my fucking area. Get out and stay out, you fucking tosser. You tramp. Get away from my area. Get away. Everyone's saying the same. Every cunt, keep away from us. Everywhere you go, every pub, you're getting beat up. And it's fucking poetic justice. Poor Marty Turner. That old man got his book back, and them scumbags, Kevin Brown, filled in a new form. Sean Atwood can back me up. I'm not lying. He filled in the form. That's why Sean's not going to do any more books for you. Sean's fucked you off. He won't be doing any more books for you because you're a fucking crank. And he said to me, he said, I'm sorry about all this, big fella. He said, I really believed him. He really believed. He said, but Brenton turned around and said to him, this was 8 months ago, he said, he's ruined my fucking book company. He's absolutely ruined me. He said, I'm going to have to go bankrupt. And I've still got the text off Sean that day. And he's not grassing Sean up. It's just the truth. And Sean tried to salvage it, bless him. And I shouted down, screaming, shouting at him on the phone. But I was obviously fucking thought he was in cahoots with him. But he did do the book. They kept all the money. They're not satisfied doing that. And then they're calling my wife and calling me. They've stole all hundreds of thousands of pounds. I hope you've had about 100 grand away. Because I know you'll get about 6 or 7 years fucking jail for it. Because you can't steal off the king. You can't stay under the king. And the wonderful, the amazing Jamie Boyle. I am so amazing. Fucking, what do you think? Yeah, fucking puppy power. Fucking have Scrappy Doo. Fucking Muppet. Pure Muppet. My books are the best books. Swings and roundabouts. You saying I can't spell? There's 37, Lee Wart, he found 37 different spelling mistakes all the way. He's not even finished reading it. He said it's the worst book he's ever seen in his life. And he's a proper author, a proper author, working with Penguin Books for the biggest company in the world. Penguin are one of the biggest. Have a check. I'm working with him now. We're going to be, and he tried to sabotage my book by going to John Blake Publishing chain, Cockerill's Crackers, and Emma's got the screenshot. I'm going to screenshot it and put it on paper and let it read to you. He tried to put me down with John Blake Publishing, where John said, well, I've worked with Ryan 5 or 6 times, and every time he's so professional. And Steve Ray said the same, and Neil Jackson said, Brian's so easy to work with. He's so quick and clever with the when you do movies and stuff with him. He's just got it straight away. You only have to tell him once. And when you tell him the lines to say in a movie or on a documentary, he's spot on. Where Neil Jackson said, I will never work with him again. He came here. I said, where have you been, Neil? Where the fuck have you been? I've been waiting here since 8 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, he's had me in every single different house looking for that stuff and other stuff, the hard stuff, all over Teesside. He said, I'm a family man. I fucking work. He said, I get caught with that. And he throws it on the floor. I'm going to lose the license and everything just for him. I'll never work with him again. Neil's never worked with him again, but he's been near Neil and he loves it. He comes, he said, the only thing with Brian and them, but you can't get out of the house because they just keep feeding you and they keep looking after you. He said, they're just brilliant people. Steve Rafe comes, Stephen Sayers and Michael and all them. He said, when you go in the house, you can't get out. They're just so loving in the stories and the fun they have with them. The love they give you the cuddle. You can feel the love off them. They're so lovely. They're both couple. They both got the exact same models. Emma's so beautiful looking girl. Yeah. Your wife, gorgeous. You would, yeah. You know what? I tell you what. There's some fucking glasses because you are fucking blind if you think she's gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. You know, it doesn't matter. You could be the most ugliest woman in the fucking world, but it's not counting what's in there. It's in here what's gorgeous in your heart. And she's the most evilest woman I've ever come across in my life. She's like fucking Myra Hindley, and you're like Brady. You are evil, twisted people. Like I say, I've had Muslim friends, Catholics, Protestants, Jewish people. They've all said he's the spawn of the devil, that fucker. My big mate, Rob from Birmingham, fucking love him to bits, great lad. He said to me, they're definitely narcissistic fucking maniacs. He said they'll never be given. He said no matter what you do, even if he goes to jail and he's found guilty, he's in every single paper. It wasn't me. It's another Jamie about that. It's not me. They cannot accept defeat. They can't say I'm sorry. They can't just go look. I'm fucked up. I was on the drugs. Blah blah blah. Can you forgive us? We probably say yeah, whatever. But you can't because you're a fucking divvy. You have to be bend over, boil a bad out. Yeah, well, he wanted to be bummed up, Paul Sykes, didn't he? If I'm in the movie, can I just be bummed up, bummed in the cell of Paul Sykes in the movie? And you ruined that 3-part document. You're a fucking jealous, horrible little troll. And you haven't got brown hair. No, my beautiful wife is beautiful inside and out. She's beautiful. And you are one fucking evil man with your wife. All you've done is, Robert, you've tortured people like fucking Carol Edwards, another beautiful human being. You've tortured that lady for fuck all because she was Lee Duffy's partner and she was loyal as the fucking days long. Like a fucking, we love it a bit, me and Emma. She's a lovely lady and we love her kids and we love Peter, her son. And we did that as well because of the Duffy family. And we did that for the, I couldn't look Carol Edwards in the face after doing lies about Lee Duffy, saying he was a monster and he beat people. And he should take, he said, what the big difference with Cockerill was, Cockerill would tax like gangsters and other people, where Duffy would take it off anyone. I went, I'm not putting that in there. I was in here when I did it. I was sat there. The table was that way around the chair. He was here, Paul Suggett. I love Paul Suggett. He's a great lad. And his brother, I helped his brother when he had cancer, and I was phoning him all the time. So Paul always thanked me for that. But he's a documentary maker. He's walked across the country helping kids with disabilities and things. And he said the same. And he said, when he said that about you, you're spack and you're retard. I know lots of people who have helped with disabilities. That is just unforgivable. But he said he'll never work with them again as well. So when he was doing the documentary about Tina Shaw, the so-called tinfoil tapes, Tina came on our show. She said, I know I'll get a fair deal with you. I know you're a proper lad, like a proper man like my dad, she said. And she said, my dad never got beat up by Paul Sykes ever in jail. It's all shit. And tinfoil was gone. He knocked him out. Absolute fucking shite. I do know these people, Johnny Nelson, they call him Johnny Nelson, the black lad from Sheffield, only on the telly I've seen him. Brilliant boxer, lovely man. He said, Paul Sykes and Peter Duffy said, Peter Fury said, Paul Sykes died for a horrific death. But to be quite honest, in this world, you get what was it he said? He died in horrific deaths. He died in a horrific death, and rightly so. What he did in his lifetime was disgusting and vile and horrible. I mean, he raped all the young kids and young girls and young boys. And he's saying he never got convicted. Well, Jimmy Savile never knows. Another one you knock about with, you've got on your page. You're a fucking weirdo. So tonight you're being destroyed by your own book. What you've written, it's all Jamie, all the way through it. That's all you can see. Yeah. Yeah, Jamie again. Middlesbrough, knocking out Cockerill. A fight in days. Cameras. Mobile cameras. Jamie. Fucking hell, it's never end. Jamie. Fucking never ending with his shite. Absolute shite. And then he puts quotes in, like you said. He'll put a quote in with 3 words and there'll be like 3 pages empty. Then he'll put another quote in with 4 words to be 4 pages empty just to fill the book up because he can't fill it up because what he calls it, he puts his own spin in it. Lead up, he's still at the pound shops. There was no pound shops in 1981. He tried to make him look bad. And he walked around and everywhere he went, he was like the robot. He was like the Terminator. Because there was, I remember when the day you come up with that, because we went, because I said I used to get called the Terminator on the door when I was a kid, when I was about 21, 22, when it first came out. And they said, get the Terminator when I was fighting. I was 20, 21, 22, I think it was. And I used to work at Leo's. And I told him the story. And he tried to put it in as if Lee was the Terminator. He just switches things around. He hears things and remembers them, writes them down, then he pretends he's done them. And Steve Ray said, when I do a book, he says, I go in the book like this side, walk through the book, and which character I play the part because you're an actor and a writer. He said, I then become the actors. I can act the part, and I become the characters in the book. So I come in like a clean canvas and come out the other end of there. I was like walking through the house type of thing, through the book, and he's gone through the book and he comes out the back door type of thing, and that's him done the book. So he goes, when I do a book, mate, Jamie Byam, the best author since Oscar Wilde on these English shores, I do a book where I walk through the television, or walk through the screen, and I'll come out the other end. I thought, that's fucking Stephen Ray's quote. You just steal everyone's stuff. But where's your books, Mr. fucking Roman? Where's your fucking books? And tomorrow, me and Bullock will have a lovely day with you. Me and Bullock will have a lovely day with you tomorrow, you fucking Roman. So you're gonna what you call it? You've been on again. There's an investigation going on you. Any day now you're getting arrested. That was this morning again. He's fucking deranged. Well, now it's going to happen because I've checked today. I've been on bail over 5 fucking months. You crank. So what happens is they give you bail for 3 months, and then they can up it again. The bail's not being put up, so I'm on release without what? I'm on
our established wonderful author.
Yeah.
The proper one, the real one.
Lee Watley.
Not the imposter. There was 37 mistakes in the first.
I said 33. Pages. Sorry, I was wrong then. 37. How many pages?
37 mistakes in the first few pages.
37 spelling mistakes in the first few pages. And in one thing, he's got Lee Duffy. 27 pages of Lee Duffy. Using Lee again to fill the book up because he's got nothing else to put.
34 pages. I'll 33 on Lee Duffy.
I thought you said 27.
And then every one of your chapters only had 5 pages.
So I've got 5 pages on me. Well, I had my security firm was massive. You could talk about me. We could make a fucking book that thick on my security firm. I had shops all over Hartlepool, Stockton, Sunderland, everywhere. I was waiting people from Manchester, Durham, Newcastle. I had places all over, all down the little shops, corner shops, Chinese, Indians, Pakistanis, all these different places they had all over Teesside, South Bank, Grangestown, Redcar. Broughton, Lingdale, Loftus, Billingham, had them all over Teesside. And I was telling the stories. I even had the fucking John Bramson's, the jeweller shop. I had another jeweller shop in Blackwall. I used to get paid for that. I used to get 300 quid. He had 3 shops. I used to get 300 quid a month for the bloke. I can't remember his fucking name now. He was my dad's best friend. He does the lads on the scaffolding and stuff. He's one of them type of people, get jobs for people. Like any wrong uns was watching. Hit the like buttons watching every day, so you must like it. Yeah, well, he does that every day. He keeps coming on every day, Rob. Good point. And he keeps coming and going, this channel shit. I went, well, you're on it every day. I know this is you, Doyle, because it's the way you write. You can't fucking write. I know I can't spell, but I don't profess to be a best author. How are you the best author when all you've done is you've dictaphoned me, listened to me what I said. Your wife's got on the fucking earphones. My sister-in-law, our Diane, is a professional one. She's done it 30 odd years, and she's like a fucking robot when she does it. She does it, and she's a professional. Jamie's ex-partner, and she said she's no top writer, not in a million years. And my 2 nieces, Jamie Lee and Katie, she's trained to be a barrister, one of them. The other one's trained to be a newspaper woman. Is it what do you call it? What they call them, fucking reporter. She's done that. She's done like a degree on it. So they're like fucking fast as fuck doing it. And I'm rubbish. I can't spell to save my life. So they've laughed at me because I can't spell. But you've got 34 spelling mistakes on 33 pages. That's how good you are, Shirley, at typing, because you're not a legal secretary. Because to be that standard, you wouldn't have all them spelling mistakes. So what you do is you work in the Sitting Advice Bureau and you answer the phone. Hello, gas department, Sitting Advice Bureau. How can I help you? It's Piggy Eyes. No, the gas is not on. Yes, I can tell you exactly. If you go straight down there, there's Greg's on the left, the pie shop's on the right, the cake shop's on the left, and the sweet shop straight ahead. Yeah, I spend 50 quid a day myself. Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye now. So that's what you know about where all the shops are, where all the food is. Piggy Eyes, more pies. £10, Rob. Thank you very much. That'll go straight into Emma's bag purse. Irish Bull, and when the Papa Rat was on Pal Heave Rob's, my pal big time. It's the like buttons. Support the channel in the house. The eyes are killing me. Graham McCormick. Thursdays, tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be on for a while live. I'll definitely be on tomorrow on there because I've got loads to say as well. But I told you all along, I never proofread that. Do you honestly think me? I met this man, the greatest man I've ever met, Jesus has sent him along. God has sent him to me to help me, to give me a brilliant platform. What platform have you given me? You've stole off me wife. You stole off me. We even helped you when you were fucking struggling with fucking drugs. We took you in and everything. We fucking fed you. We fucking, he said, this is the fucking lies. He said, when Brian was struggling, this is how bad it is. He went, we took him off the street when he was on the crack. I wasn't on the fucking crack when I met you. You took me off the streets and you give me a bed. You've only got a 2 bedroom shithole of a house. Shithole it is. I cleaned your house for you. It was that filthy. So you've got 2 bedrooms. So where the fuck did I sleep? So we took him in. Shirley put him in the bath and bathed him, cut his hair and dyed his hair for him, bought him clothes. Fucking deranged, you know. Totally deranged. Took me in the house and fucking cut my hair. And what is she, the best hairdresser now? Fucking Vida Cecile. You went in the hairdresser and you said, can I get my hair done? And I know the girls in the hairdresser said he's a complete narcissistic. He loves himself. All he talks about is this book and that and this thing. And I'm like a fucking little fucking fast forward on a tape recorder, that voice. So he went in the other girls and there was my mate's daughter. She said, do you know him? I went, oh yeah. She said, he gets right on my nerves. She said, he comes in every day. It's the same speech. All right, girls, how you doing? And he stood there like that as if he's some like Steven Spielberg or something. And if you know me, I'm such and such. Jamie Bard, best author ever. I'm the best author since Oscar Wilde. Fucking deranged on us. But he does that everywhere. So do you know when you're with him? Me and Bobby are like with him, taking him out you know me, I'm the best author, Jamie Boyle. And like, fuck, my uncles can't stand him. My family. Oh, Jamie fucking hates him. Oh, Jamie smash his fucking face in with one slap, take his head off. He's just a crank. So we've now finished the cunt now because no one. I've given these books away without getting paid. I'm going to wait to see what I do with this one tomorrow. I've given that book away for nothing. So it proves I'm a proper person. I give the book away. I've given the other book away about Lee Duffy. I give it away on the internet. I wouldn't do the other Lee Duffy book, which was the Once Upon a Time in Teesside. So I said no to them. And then I did the documentary. They wanted me to call Lee the documentary. And the lad said, without you, we've got no credible person because the other people are only 20-odd-year-old, 30-year-old. They weren't around when Lee passed away. You're the only credible. Even Paul Bennett said to me, oh, we're big fella going it because without you, it's going to be shit. He said, because you're the only credible witness and the only credible person who knew Lee, because I was only a kid at the time. He said, I know all about him, but you were actually with him. You were the only one who could like bring the documentary to life type of thing. Because you're actually with them, you sat with them, you drank with them, you went out with them, you had drugs with them and all that type of stuff. So you're like a top that Paul Suggett said, without you, it's going to be shit. It's going to be garbage. And it was shit. It was garbage because he can't talk. And he sat there with a white cream T-shirt on and it's about 7 or 8, 9 in the morning. And he's going, yawning like a lion because that there, when you yawn like that, I know people have been on, but my brother was on it. When you yawn like that, it's a crack. It's not a crack. It's a heroin rattle when you're coming off it. Your body's exhausted because you've been on it for days. So the only way you can get rid of it is take more heroin or take crack or something or speed or something to give you an upper. So he sat there waiting for the gear coming. And what happened is the lad come with the gear and somebody started talking to him about something. And he went, yeah, and he ran out and he went, I've lost the fucking gear now. But you can hear him say it outside on the thing. Somebody's outside on the phone. And it's on the phone, you can hear it. When he's on about he's lost the deal, meaning he was getting gear. So when he's on that, working at ATM, banking at the minute. Kaibo baby, treat, tread, not seed, actually 5 years old, baby, trade. I don't know what it means that. Yeah, I'll definitely be on tomorrow. I'll put it on my channel tonight to come on tomorrow. What time are we going on? About 3 o'clock. Yeah, 3 o'clock. So I'll put that on tonight on my channel. I'll tell you when I'm going to be on Bulls tomorrow. But I'm going to be on every single day. I'm going to be on every Wednesday to support Bulls channel. Try and get him some more subscribers on there as well. And try and boost his channel. I'm going to get some more people from here over the water here to start subscribing to his channel and give him a boost on there. So I'm going to come on there every Wednesday. We might start having maybe one night a week where we do it as well. Maybe an hour, one night a week, just to fucking We're not letting Marty down. We're not letting anyone down. We're not letting it go. But as of me now, I can't do any more now because I've fucking ruined him for books. I've had the Chris Lambriano book stopped. I've had the Ronnie Richardson, one of the Richardson's wives. I've had another book stopped for somebody else he was going to do. I won't say the lad's name, but he stopped it for us. I've had, Chris Lambriano. He pulled the plug on it when he heard him calling us. We had the documentary shot with Tina Shaw's, you know, where he was going to put lies on about Tina Shaw's dad, more fucking lies, with his so-called tape recordings, the lost tape recordings. So Stephen Ray said to me, there's them tape recordings have been out for 10 years. Everyone's fucking heard them. He just lies about every fucking thing. So he was going to put something on what all the other book people that have read it, like Stephen Ray from people in London and Lee Walk, you know, they've all heard these recordings. And I've got the lost recordings of what do you call them, Roy Shaw. I've got Roy Shaw's recordings. No, they were stolen out of our house. You had stolen tape records, so he was going to get the police involved, and you fucking shit yourself. So I phoned Paul Suckett and said, Paul, they're going to get the police involved because they're stolen out of our house. He went, you're joking? I went, no. So I said to Paul, think they're well you, but if I was you, I'd fucking pull the plug on it. He phoned me back, got on the phone to Tina, he went, I'll take it down, love. Took it down straight away. Then there was Carol Edwards, a lad called Stewie Armstrong, a boxing promoter, and also a movie maker, and lovely, big lump of a lad, love him a bit. He came on and said he seen Jamie while he was doing the documentary about Carol's forgot about this, and we've never mentioned it for ages. And what happened, he was doing the thing about Lee Duffy, the documentary, so he was asking Carol for stories, and Carol said, no, I'm not giving you any stories. Well, can you give us any letters in that from, because he knew she had all the letters from Lee from jail. Can you give us this? Can you give me that? Can you give us the input? And I went, no, I'll give you nothing. I'm not giving you anything about Lee Duffy. And none of my kids are. So Peter Duffy wouldn't give him out either. So they wouldn't give him out. So he started an onslaught of bullying. So when they were doing the documentary with Stewie Armstrong was doing it. But when he went to Jamie's, he was sat there and he was at the table, and Jamie had a computer or a phone at the table, and the message come up, and it was him. He said, you stupid fucking whatever, called Carol these horrible names and started bullying her. So Carol contacted and said, Carol, I think Carol's on, you know. I think Carol came on, I think, and contacted him and said, I didn't give consent for the documentary to be made. So he contacted and said, look, went and seen her. He went, I'll take it down. He said, I didn't know. So he went, you went out with a fucking bully, you, torturing a woman and bullying a woman. He said, I've seen it with my own eyes. He threatened to fucking smash his face, and he shit himself, the little white weirdo. And so Stewie Armstrong come on and told the truth. He came on my documentary, on my podcast, and told the story about Carol. Well, Carol tells you something, you know it's true. She's not a liar. She's never lied to me. I know she's not a liar. So if she tells me something, and if I tell her something, she believes it, or Emma tells her, we believe each other because we don't lie to each other. But that fucker, he was saying he had the permission of the Duffy family. He said they have the permission of Laurie Duffy. But in that book, I might take that bit out actually and put it up in a post where Laurie's asking him, please don't do the book on my brother. Laurie was dying of cancer at the time. He said, you've already done one. It's all about, he said, I'm a Christian, I'm a crusader. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be like a crusade to lead off your mate. He said, well, you've already been telling lies about my brother. He said, it's not about the money. The money's going to go to charity and all that. And Laurie said, every single penny went to Mr. Boyle in his pocket, because that's all it was about, money. It was nothing to do with help anyone or whatever. He said it was all about him making money, and that's all he ever done. I think he's done the same with us. Matty Turner, Terry Dicko, everyone. Well, how come Terry, you got to give Terry 1,000 books back then? You give him 151 set of books and 850. No, not you, Brenton, because he shit himself because he knew that the HMC customers are getting involved. That's why you've tried to clean shop. And you're clinging on. But you might have a Lee Duffy book on. Well, you might have, I don't know. But you haven't got none of my fucking books on. You've got nothing. And in the end, you could have fuck all, because no one with half a fucking brain cell will do a book with you, because nobody gets paid. You're a stinking dirty thief. You and your wife are thieves. So report me to the police. I'm calling you a pair of fucking thieves, the both of you. Scheming, sneaky, conniving pair of bastards, the both of you. Vile bastards. And that's what you do to people, steal off people. The Stoltman brothers were near Inverness, I think. Yeah, my mates from up there. I've got a picture of them, the Stockman brothers, the other week of oh, what do they call him? Fucking, oh, come on, I think his name. He's from Inverness. Bare knuckle lad. Oh, fucking, I can't remember his name now. Lovely lad. Stayed here 3 times with us. He come down when we winners went. He come down with a couple of lads from Scotland. Sat with us. Can't think his fucking name now. Mike Bickers, bare knuckle fighting, strong man, really strong lad. He come down with a few lads from that way, but he's trained with the younger Stortman. I think there's 4 brothers, not 3. I'm sure there's 4, but they're really nice lads. They're not fighters out. They're just fucking big lumps of lads, but they're really fucking strong. And the Albatross, they call me, he's the best stone lifter ever. I was supposed to go and meet them, but couldn't go all that way. It's too fucking far. But I will go when I get fitter. Yeah, I got through to the Britain's Strongest Man by not even competing, just by them watching them videos of me with Brian Flaherty, Little Bensley, Chrissy went up, and Little Brian Flaherty went up. Very good friends of Glenn Bartlett, who runs the football. He's does the football team, you know, and he just like Oasis and all them type of people. But he's got his own security firm, massive. He's got a big, massive house in Wynyard. He's got a big gym. He's wanting me to go down now because he's got Eddie Elwood and a couple of other people like Mr. Universe is on the wall, and he wants the picture of me up now when I was at my biggest and my legs and all that. He said, "No one had legs like you and a back like you. No fucker, no one had legs like them. I had 36.5-inch thighs. I was 6'3" and I looked smaller because my legs were that wide." He said, "But so he's going to get the lads to draw me on the wall. No big massive figure on the wall of me." So that's nice. It's a gymnasium. He's got his own gym, and he's got most of the people. I throat's bad. Most of the people he's got on army lads. He's got. Yeah, the Doyle told Stewie all the family were on board with the documentary Lies Again. That's Carol Edwards, Lee Duffy's partner, and the mother of Lee's children. Slagged that lady, loveliest lady you could ever, one of the loveliest people you could ever meet. So loving. The kids are all loving. Son's beautiful kid. The dog's beautiful as well. Lovely people, and called that lady because she wouldn't fucking give them stories. I said, never on my fucking watch again. You'll do it. Never. And me and Emma and Carol been best of friends. And when I was in the hospital, she come, bless her, and Tina Shaw. See, the women, the better. See, there was Carol. She cut steel with her tongue. Emma, you know what she's like, and fucking Tina Shaw. You imagine them 3 on your fucking back. Imagine them 3 after you. Fucking Elroy Shaw's daughter, lead off his partner, and fucking Brian Cockerill fucking misses them 3 teamed up. Imagine them in the fucking mix. Them there. What do you call it? No, the wrestling. Fucking hell. World's Strongest Man, this, yeah. Hangman Order 2-1. I'm not sure, mate. I think it was the Quebec lad. I think it was. I can't think his name. It was it Jay. I think it was not Jay. No. Lovely big fucking shoulders on him. He's got not a brilliant physique, but he's fucking strong as a bull. He did the deadlift. He broke the deadlift record. He's fucking awesome. I think he's Canadian or something like that. Fucking brilliant strong man. But I like him, the young Polish lad. He's about 6'5", but he doesn't even look that big. He's only about 20.5 stone. I was 20 stone 10. I was 23 stone 10 pound. So he's fucking unbelievable. He's only like I say, 20 stone 10 pound or something. He's super fit. He's a bit like Pobanowski years ago. Same countries, Poland. Carl says mind he has. Yeah, he's fucking. Johnny Jump. Hey, Johnny, you're right, son. Didn't see you there sneaking about. My eyes are killing me tonight. I don't know what. I tell you what, I've been up for. It's 3 nights now. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. I can't. The sides are fucking killing me. Spasms are terrible in it, and yeah, just terrible. Even that, he hasn't even got them tablets. He's making them up. Yeah, every single fucking thing you say is on your back with it. Just come and fight me. You've offered me out. Challenge accepted. When and where? I'll give you 1,000 to 1. Whatever you put up, I will do it 1,000 times more. I'll give you 100 grand if you beat me, you fucking stupid little fat cunt. You're a fucking moron, an absolute moron. You stupid little. I'm going to put Brian Cockerill up on here. No one gives a fuck. No one gives more. What you're doing is more and more people are coming on every day. I'm getting more and more. Like tonight, look at 150 people have been on there for over about 40 minutes. They haven't moved for 40 minutes. So there's 150 people stood gross watching the thing because they love it. You were a fucking wrong'un. You can't, your channel's fucking shit. There's not one person comes on your channel. You haven't got a channel. It's like tumbleweeds in the cowboy days. There's nothing in your channel. I've got all the top people back. When I Phil Taylor back on, I'm going to get John Elite back on, and John's going to get me some more gangster friends from New York and things. So with the next month or two, we're changing all the format, and here we're going to get it done like a studio. We're going to start getting memorabilia. We're going to start getting stuff with Eli. We're going to get dolls made with me and Emma doll, Brian dolls like that, Ken and Barbie, like for kids and that. So we're going to start doing that. We're going to get Eli dolls. So we're going to start doing this stuff because everyone keeps asking us for memorabilia, hats and hoodies and stuff like that. We're going to get Eli hoodies and everything for the dogs. So we're going to start it's going to go fucking taxman crazy all over because we had gigs everywhere. Because of the side, I'd be out. Carl Stewart, hello matey, how's your day be? Board stiff again. Board stiff this again. I'm stiff, mate, but this fucking Carl Stewart. Vanda Watson, this is what I mean. The world's strongest man have to do it once. There's VODs of this guy doing it more than once. Yeah, you're right, mate. I used to train every day, son. Is it Carl that talking, is it? Or is it Vanda Watson? I was training every day. I was training 3 times a day, 6 days a week for 13-year-old till I was 20, 27, 28. Every single, nearly fucking all them years. And he went, it's only because of steroids. Well, if it was only because of steroids, everyone would be fucking massive. If it was only to stick a needle in your bum or take a tablet, you fucking divvy, you talk shite. Absolute shite comes out. He went, you only had 490 pound on. My best squat was 365 key. My very best squat. And I think it was 803 pounds. The same as the policeman, the bodybuilder, Ronnie Coleman. He did 2 reps and I got 3 on it. But I could have got more, but I didn't want to fuck my knees up. But I did 9 plates each end, which is 380 key. I think 385 it might be. And I come down, I got 4 times when Mickey Flanagan helped me. He was a top professional bodybuilder. And I come down, I got all the way down. I got stuck at the bottom anyway. I pushed, I got up, and I got 3/4 up, and I dislocated my fucking knee. But I didn't have to just. I had to take 2 tests, 2 DECA, no tablets. I was naturally strong. I didn't need loads of steroids. That's why I kept big all the time. You see them going massive and small because they're taking gear and they can only go on it so long, and then they come off it and all the water comes out of the body. I was naturally, even now, I'm about 19.5 stone or something, and I'm on nothing. I train now twice a day, but only light now because obviously I'm getting older, so I do more reps now. So if you train heavy, like 4 sets of 6, you're stressing it, so you push yourself to the limit with a heavy weight. But if you train with a lightweight and you're going for 25 reps, you just can't get any more because that 25 reps, because you're doing that many reps, you compensate, so you're stressing the muscle just the same. So they did a survey with people training heavy for 6 reps and heavy as they can, and then they did a survey with people training for 25 reps, and guess what? The ones training heavy got stronger, but they were the same size. Their arms, the biceps, the legs, the back, everything was the same size because you're still stressing the muscle. It's called the fascia around here. The muscle is in a sheath. Like you've got your skin and you've got a fascia. If you can stretch the fascia by doing more reps, your muscles get bigger. But that shit about you've got fast twitch fibers and slow twitch fibers. I used to train both, and that's why I got bigger and stronger than everyone would just either train heavy with low reps, or they train. Nearly everyone would train like 3 sets of 10 or 4 sets of 6. When I would train 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, 1 and get help off it. Then I would probably train the next week, but I'd do 4 sets of 10, medium weight. And then I would do strict 4 sets of 6. And then I would do 4 sets of 25. So you do 25 reps, or it fucking kills you. And I would go and do like 10-mile bike rides 3 or 4 times a week. And I'd do maybe an hour on a row machine twice a week, an hour on a stepper. I like the steppers, they were good. And then I'd go on the bags. I'd do a 5-minute round, I'd do a 10-minute round, I'd do a 15-minute round. I wasn't great on the 15, but fucking on hard work. And then I'd do 10 threes, and I'd do something like 4 sixes on it. So I kept mixing me fighting up with it, because you might be fighting one person in the street, then another 3 or 4 lads might come around the corner. So you've got to be on blob. Any Butte taught me that. He said you can't just be fit enough to have like a 3 or 4 minute fight. But I could do a full 20-minute on a bag at 23 stone 10 pound. And the other day he was saying, I was lying about the lad in the back garden, Juggy they call him, that's his name, from Merthyr Tidwell. I'm going to get Lee Worley, who's my proper author. I love him as well. He's a great lad, and he's so intelligent. And when I talk to him, me and him talk, we're on the same page, pardon the punt, with the books. And he's so good to get on with. And it's when you talk to that fucking divvy, he drains you, because he's got no brains. He'll talk about the war and he'll go, he hasn't got a clue. You know, he'll talk about, my IQ's through the roof. You know that. I'm not a fucking idiot. So he tried to con me. He went, how the fuck could he con you? Not in a million years. Because what it was, I'm so nice to people. I never called him a little crank. And when he said, oh, this little crank come looking for me, I never said that to you. I never ever called you or disrespected you or your wife. I took you in. I took you out for meals. I took you all over when you were struggling. When you were on drugs, I was taking you to fucking addresses. Getting a chance, I could go to jail for you, just so you could get your fucking fixes and stuff. Me and my brother. You're just a horrible fucking man. Evil. The Rock. Yeah, the Rock, he does all the elastic band training now, Hugh Hardberg. Or Hangman Orders. He does all the Rock does all that elastic band training. They're all doing it because you don't tear anything. And it's really good. Plus, it's really good for people who've got, if you're in a wheelchair. So if you've got a weight and you're doing a dumbbell and you drop the weight on your hands, because my hands are terrible. If you drop it, you could break your foot or something. But if you've got elastic band and you drop it, it's just elastic band. So you can't hurt no one. And so you can put like a little, say like, you know them mops where you can make the mop bigger. Take the head off the mop. And you can put that there, and you can put where your hands go. You can put the bar there and make it into a bench press. You can use bench press. You can do shoulder press. You can do it there like that, or you can do it on your back. You can squat with it. You can do all sorts with an elastic band. And you can't hurt yourself. You can sit on the end of your bed, put them on your back, stand on the bands on your feet, and stand up and down, squat. Perfect squats you can do with them. They're brilliant. And if you fall, there's no weight there. But because it's elastic, it's obviously it's harder when you can get thicker and thicker elastic bands. But I think it's great for people with injuries, like sitting in hospital beds or in wheelchair. You can do side laterals, you can do biceps, you can do long pulley, you can do shoulders, you can shoulder press, you can do bent over rowing, you can do side laterals that way, you can do front laterals, you can do upright rowing, you can do bent over rowing, you can do everything. You can do long pulley, you can do tricep push downs, you can do everything for the fucking. You do legs with them, like I said. It's just a phenomenal thing to do. But you've got to, if you want to train, you just got to say to yourself, get off your ass now and get in the gym. Just get in the gym, and even if you train 3 days a week, if you're exercising the muscles expanding, the muscles pumping blood around, then it stops you getting stage 2 diabetes, especially when you're in your late 40s, 50s. That's when the nightmares come. When you get to 40, you've got to sit back and think, I'm getting old here. You start losing. Even women have testosterone in the body. You've got to go and women out there, go and test to see if you've got enough test in your body, because that's what could. It's not always women's when they're on the periods, when they start losing the periods and they're going to change their life. See, I know all the women's stuff and everything. I know every fucking thing about the human body. So when you're going to the change, you're women out there, and you still need test in your body, and if you haven't got enough test in your body, you're lethargic and you're down. So you need to go and see your doctor, and he'll test you, and he'll see. And you also get a thing in here. You've got your pancreas. Your pancreas produces insulin. Now, if you were eating sugar like Shirley does every day, all day, it goes sugar. So it goes insulin, isoglycemic deficiency. So what happens is you've got beta cells in there. Then beta cells start dying, because you're eating sugar. Sugar's bread. That's try and stop bread for a month. You watch what happens to you. Amazing what happens to you. Bread is full of sugar and it keeps you awake all night. It's a nightmare. But if you cut sugar out, obviously you'll see the difference. Eat a banana a day. Have some porridge every day. Have 2 eggs a day. Have a bit of maybe chicken, bit of rice, a bit of potato, pasta, bit of salad. That type of food is great for you. But on the night time, stop eating carbs. So you're going to eat carbs, eat them in the morning. Eat on the night, you can eat proteins. You can eat any meat you want because meat takes a lot longer to digest. So because it takes a lot longer to digest while you're digesting the food, I think it's an hour. I think it's 2 hours for carbs and 3 hours for meat, just for talking's sake. So that's why the Atkins diet works, because you're using loads of carbs. Sorry, you burn loads of calories up just sitting there, burning it off for 3 hours because your body digests the food. When it's digested, you burn the calories off. That's why you're better having 5 small meals instead of 3 big meals, because you're burning off the 5 meals. You're burning calories all the way through. All these little things I've learned from all these thousands and thousands. Got 50 going into 5 decades of training. And he said to me, "What does he know about training?" Well, I certainly know more about fucking training you. Have you seen the state of you? I'm 60 next year. You're 42. You're 42. Fucking state of you. Good at bench press, but can't press 50k dumbbell. Well, don't need to press 50k dumbbells, mate. Just drop them down. And what you've got to do if you want to go heavier, drop the weight and do more reps. So say, for instance, you're getting 50k and you're getting 4 reps. Go down to 30k. Say you get 15 reps and say, right, next week I'm going to go for 16. Then when you get to 20, go up 2 key each end or 1 key each end. So you've gone up 2 key. And that's how you go up. You don't just go 50. You can't just go 30, 40, 50 and go up. It's not going to work. So you've got to drop the weight and sometimes go in and do different ways to do your training. So you can do bench press, close grip bench press. I'll tell you what's really good. Close grip bench press for strengthening your triceps, for benching. Really good with an EZ bar. You'll see me and it looks like I'm benching, but I'm not. I think I've only got about 2.5 weights, and by the way, there's only 100 odd key on there. I'm not doing fucking bench press, you moron. It's called close grip tricep press. I've got my hands here and pressing, and I'm only coming up to there. The reason why I only come up to there, because if you come up when you've got that, like say 300 or 400 pounds in your hands, and you look out, all that stress goes on the ear and on your shoulders, and you end up fucked like me and you get older. So you better just go there with your triceps. So you're just doing like half the range of motion, but you're not putting all the stress on your elbows or your wrists. So it stops your wear and tear in your joints. He's telling me, what he was doing. I created a page. It was mainly to help people for dieting. So somebody said, "Well, how do I get bigger?" He went, "Well, just eat 5 bowls of porridge," and pretended it was me. Oh, you fucking scumbag. So I was raging. I thought, he's telling people to do things that could put them in hospital. He's trained 8 times a day and all that. I thought, and then I got that chucked out as well, the fucking YouTube channel. I created the page. 11,000 people I created. He stole that off me as well. He's one fucking vile, horrible thing. But I've took the books off you now. You haven't got a fucking book. You haven't got a carrot. You haven't even got a car. You haven't got a house. You're bumming off the dole again. You're back on the dole, you and Shirley. Bums. You call them people. I'm only saying this because that's what he says to people. Why don't you get a job, you bum? That's what he said to people. I was struggling. There's nothing wrong with being on the dole if you can't work or if you're poorly. You're just evil. You were on the dole, scrounging off the dole, 15 grand. You were selling books. You were selling documentaries. You were selling paperback books. You were selling Kindles. You were selling all different times documentaries. And you weren't giving no one nothing. You were just keeping it all, just fucking rotten with greed. But you've been found out. You've been found wanting. No one in the world's going to work with you again now. You're finished. And I've ruined you. I have ruined you. I told you outside the gym with Emma. I said, don't ever be clever with me again, you. Because I'll fucking knock you out. It was starting to pour down. We were doing the documentary. And he went, "Have you been serious?" I said, "You haven't been serious." Said, "If you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to break your jaw in a minute." And that's the only time I turned on you. Because you were causing trouble. You were offering people out. And you were saying, "I'm with Brian Cocker, what are you going to do?" And I hate that, mate. I hate being in a situation where somebody's using my name without asking me. I think it's rude and I think it's obnoxious and I think it's vile. Somebody's using me to bully someone. I don't like it. I don't mind getting involved in something. If somebody goes, "What do I do here? What do I do there?" And I'll get in. But I can't stand people using my name and using people to bully people. I don't like it. I don't like it because I wouldn't like it done to me. So I wouldn't do it with somebody else. But you just love to frighten people. You think it's great. But you're finished now because that book, I'll tell you what I'm going to do tomorrow with it. I'll tell you the truth. I'm going to burn the cunt. I'm going to set it alight in the back garden. And I'm going to set the book. This is what I think of Boyle's books. That bullshit, Boyle. Yeah. The fucking shit he's putting here, honestly. It's all. Yeah, that the only reason I said I wanted to be the mayor was so I could get the mayor was going to go for mayor. As you know, I could speak good. And I was going on the doors and we're all wanting to vote for me in Groveville and different places in Middlesbrough. The reason why I want to go for mayor, I was going to get the gold fucking chain and pawn it in at John Ramsey. So when Andy Preston come here about a year ago, I might just taxi, left messed about with him. He stayed for about an hour and a half. He was a really nice man. Fucking nice when people are nice in it, but I just don't like bullies. I fucking hate bullies. I've never been a bully in my life. I've never been called a bully until he came along. I've never had my windows smashed in my house. One story for a daft little cunt. I got my windows smashed once in all them years. Only got my windows smashed once. Never my cars or nothing. Only since that little daft cunt's come on. I'm not finished with you, daft little cunt. You think you're safe from the police, are you? Are you? Are you little mug? Do you think you're safe, do you? You fucking little moron. You're very lucky, like Lee Watley said. If it would have been Brian Cockerill 10 years ago, you'd have been gone. You look like the aliens that took you. You'd never been fucking found again. You'd have just gone missing. You'd been another statistic. Gone. It's gone missing, completely missing. Fatty would have been sat in the fucking house crying. So that's what would have happened to you. Because I've changed my life around. God sent me an angel. God sent me a little chant note. He said, God sent me a little, not crank, a little fucking divvy or whatever he called himself. That what he's trying to say, that's me talking about him. So people get scared. Oh, Brian's really in with him. But that's what he was doing. That stuff as if me and him are the best of friends. Fucking crank. I asked him, I said, can I give you some invoice? He went, I'm watching Rocky at the minute. Oh, you fucking little upstart, horrible little cunt. And I was getting more and more angry. And like I said, when I went to the poll, when I did the one with the ball sides, and he was laughing at the kids out. That's it, Emma. I was fucking coming by the table. What's wrong with you? She said, I said, him fucking laughing at kids again and fucking being raped. I said, that's it. It's tearing my stomach. I said, I'm finished. I said, don't ever fucking phone me again. I'm finished with you now. This was June. Was it June? Yeah, just June 3 years ago. And I said, don't you ever come near me again. Fuck off. And I finished with him. 2, 12, 8, 6, 4, 2, yeah. Reps made and got down a low set 20 is good. Yeah, so what you do is you start off, you go in and you'll probably, maybe, I'll tell you what's a good one to start with. Don't start with any bench pressing. Don't start with any dumbbells or barbells. Start on the pec deck. Nice and flow. Do about 20 nice reps, get a nice warmed up. Then go on and nice and tight on it. And don't stretch your back and throw it up like I used to. Just nice and tight. And do 8 set reps. And have like 2 or 3 minutes rest. When you go 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, you need about 3 minutes rest. Then have a rest. And then come on. Make sure your mates have got you. You ready? Let's go. Up. 1. And do it. 8 reps. 6 reps. 4 reps. 2 reps. When you get to 2, go 1, 1, 1. And you might get 1 rep. You might get 1 rep. And you might get none rep. But when you get none rep, you put another plate on again. So I used to go and I used to start off with 2 plates, I think it was each end, and I'd go to 3 each end, then 4 each end, then 5 each end, then 6 each end, then 6.5. I could get 6 reps. No, I could get 6 reps for that. No, was it 6 reps I could get? No, I could get 6 reps for 6 plates. I think it was 4 reps for 6.5. And I used to put 7 on. I couldn't get it. Never ever got close to getting it, which is about 300 kg. And I used to come down, hold it, and then then he'd lift me back up and I'd hold it and do that about 3 times. So because I had 300 kg on, when I went back to the 40 kg less, which is 260 kg, it felt a lot lighter because you're used to it. You get used to the strength, but it strengthens up all your elbows and your joints and your tendons. So you get used to like squatting 9 plates. I went for it 3 times. I was very close to getting it, but I never got it. But I did get out the rack. That's the hardest part when you get out the rack, because when you get it in there and you lift it up, it comes when you're squatting 380 kg. The bar bends around your fucking shoulders like that, proper bends around you. So you're having to get out and all the weight's on your one leg and you're coming back on the other leg. we never had squat racks and all that then. We didn't have fancy stuff like they've all got now. And these space, them suits where you're dead tight, you know, like a suit where they put it on, and didn't have all them. So if I had that, I'd have probably squatted, I'd have probably got the 380 with the equipment that they've got now, because they've got these things that you put on, like they're dead tight, like a diver suit they put on, and it makes you dead rigid and tight. So you come in there, you're like coming on, so you can come up a lot because it springs you back up, the spring in it. So it's dead tight, compressing you. So it helps you come back up and helps you from getting injuries. But we didn't have them things. I just had a set of bandages in an old gym, rusty fucking bars, and I did it. I did £803 for 3 reps. I did that about 20 times that, and I went for 8.5 and I couldn't get it. I went for that as well. I never got the 8.5 either, but I went for 9 and he got the 9's crazy in it. But sometimes you can go in the gym and you can go in and you think, oh, I feel shit today. And you can have the best workout in the world. And then some of the days you go in and think, I'm going to be strong as a fucking bull, and you're fucking piss weak. So sometimes that's because you haven't got enough glycogen in your body. So when you train and you take out that glycogen, which is in your liver, glycogen is the one that gives you energy to train with. Once that glycogen gone, it's like having a battery on a car. If you left it on all night, the battery would go off, the lights would go off. So because you've trained, you've got that glycogen, so you need to replenish it straight away. You have an hour window of opportunity to get the glycogen, the protein, your creatine, your gluten in your body. But I take it in the gym, and as soon as I finish training, I drink it, and then later on, this is another great one for people who train heavy and hard and loads of reps. Get branched chain amino acids. They're only a tenner. Have 10 grams about an hour before you train. Have 10 grams when you're finished. And then late at night, take another 10 grams. You'll get up the next day and you have no pain in your body. It takes all the pain out of your body. The amino acids. You've got your body here. And people used to think it was lactic acid buildup, but it wasn't. It's called microscopic tears in the muscle. So when you train and you're pushing yourself, you're breaking down the muscle. So the more you break it down, if you come out like walking and you're shaking like that, and I've been, you look like I'm going to fucking die, and you shake like a leaf, that means you've tapped into your nervous system. Once you tap into your nervous system, that's where you fucking get massive. And you get the weight on you, and you're pushing yourself to the limit. But you can only train like that once every 3 or 4 grand. I didn't train with Tom Platt. Well, I did. I was in the gym with him when he trained. I didn't train with him. But he talked me 3 times. I met him at the crypt in Middlesbrough. Kev Kilty talked about him. There's a video of me talking about Kevin. I'm going to put the one with Paul Massey on as well, where Jamie fucking arsewiped saying I was calling Paul Massey. I never called Paul Massey. So I'm just going to put that on of the Manchester lad, because a few said, oh, what did you say out, Brian? Somebody come on. I went, no, I never said that. So he's watched it and went, I apologise, Brian, you never called Paul. You spoke really well of the lad. I would never call anyone apart from that paedophile fucking Sykes. All the other lads, like Viv Graham, Legend, and Big Billy Robinson, and people like Eddie Bullock, and all them people, like fucking people like fucking Roy Shaw, people like Ray Bam Bam Hilton, all them are legendary fighters. People like Norman Buckland, they're legends, proper legends. And you don't call people like your peers, you call them, because they're in the same type of, they're in that type of league where I was in. But you're never in that league, Jamie, because you can't fight. You're a fucking clown. You'll get your wife to go out. You get a little sweetie wife. In Scotland, they call them sweetie wives. Zoo Girl 67, you okay, love? Hope you're okay. I've got Bag B from Train Spotting and my profile picture, mate. Graham McCorbett. You all right, Graham, son? Bag B from, yeah, like that. Train Spotting. Fucking Train Spotting. Hit the like button, you're telling you, Zoo Girl's telling you. Zeus. I think me and her fucking got all the problems in the world, me and her. Me and Zoo Girl. Zeus, I don't just say it, Zeus Girl 67. All the fucking, we've got more, me and her have got more meds than the fucking chemist. We could knock them out, make a fucking fortune. Get your meds, come on, get your meds, come on, line up, get your meds. me and her have got fucking loads of stuff, like legal stuff, not illegal stuff. But yeah, fucking hell. There's another thing, like I was on Buscapan. Did you know this? People smoke Buscapan with crack. They do it around here, it's kill people. They can mix it in with the crack. So what they're doing, the people who are making crack now, they break it down the Buscapan, the little tiny round little tablets, you get them. They're really good. I used to get it really bad. I don't get it as bad now. And I don't have that fucking shit now because I was drinking them drinks. I've only found it myself about 2 years ago, got them. them drinks, them fucking no calories in them. Them sacharins give you brain tumours. They make your head fucking busting. They make your eyes bad. They give you they give you cancer in the bowels and everything. I've been telling people for 2 years now about them. You can't digest them. They just stay in your body. So if it can't digest, where's it going? It goes in the small gut and it just builds up. Do you know, like a sewage in a drain and it's blocked? That's what it ends up being like. See, but them probiotics drinks are brilliant. They're good bacteria. They kill all the bad bacteria. And when I'm talking about this and people are listening and people are asking me questions, I'm in my element because I'm training, I'm helping people, I'm teaching people stuff, and I just love helping people. Yeah. So it was like sex. Yeah. And he said the pub was like sex and he got addicted to both. Yeah, it's funny. I've just watched, if you have a look on Annie's new video, guys, it's about when he was a kid. And he's funny, Annie. He's very, very quick and really intelligent, fucking brilliant man. And he said, in them days, imagine being in Germany type of thing, Austria. So obviously the German army and all that, he's in all that. He went in that. So you had to go in that to get a passport in them days. So he's in the army or whatever, the 60s, and he became a 20-year-old, fucking brilliant, absolute. So look at him. You take away steroids, you take away all the steroids in the world, right? And the ones who are champions, without the steroids, they'll still be the champions. The ones who are the best runners, they'll still be the best runners. Steroids only give you a little tiny boost. They don't give you this fucking, they'll give you a bit more push. So it'd be like having a car and putting fucking, I don't know, fucking something in the engine to give it a boost. That's all it is. It's nothing what people, or you get 3 stone, but you don't. It's all shit. You put 2 stone of water on, that's no good to you. Being a fucking water baby. Walking around sweating like a fucking pig, all that water all over, and making your heart bad, making you fucking depressed, taking loads of steroids. What you do if you're taking steroids, you just take a tiny amount. What they do now, they've got a thing, it's called micro dosing. So that instead of taking, like, say, 1 mil is 10 IUs, instead of taking like 1 mil or 2 mil a week, what they do now, they'll go 2 IUs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So in that 10 days, you've had 2 mil. Because it's only a tiny bit, it's still 2 mil at the end of the week. But if you had 2 mil straight off, it makes your blood pressure go through the roof. That's why a lot of people are dying on steroids, because they're taking the big 2 mil, boom in their ass, and then they get that panic attack and they have a fucking heart attack, because the steroids give you blood pressure. But if you're taking 0.2 5 times a week, it's only 10 IUs. So it's 1.5 mil, which the doctor gives you anyway with the other doctors. But the doctors do it wrong. The doctor will give you, say, 1 mil a month. It's no good that way, because it starts coming out of your system. When you have that jab of steroids like a mil, as soon as you have it, it's in for 48 hours and it starts dissipating, which means it starts coming out of the body. When it comes out of the body, that's when you get roid rage. So your body, it's a bit like the ladies when they come on the periods at the end of the month. Oh, you're fucking looking out to the husband. You're fucking out for no reason, because steroids do the same thing, exact same thing. So men have estrogen. So if you produce too much estrogen, you end up with bitch tits through the steroids. So you've just got to take them. There's always that saying, always a little bit less than a bit more. Like alcohol. Once you're drunk, I don't know more now. When you go overboard, you end up fucking being stupid, hurt yourself, forward, break your leg, whatever. End up getting locked up fighting people. So always with anything, drugs, anything you take, and always take less than what you would take, because always play safe, because you could take something, overdose, you can kill yourself. It's so easy. But yeah, injuries, my shoulder had more rotary cuff. I was pressing too much, and the rotaries and the rugby. I'll tell you a great way to fix that for you is when you're sitting, put your hands like this, pull your shoulder blades together, and in your back of your, make them stick out like that. Pull your shoulder blades together, hold there like that, and squeeze in. So you the back of here, like your wing little bits, like your I can't remember the scapula in there. Squeeze that there and hold that. Do that 3 times a day, and that'll strengthen up. Because what it is, why you're weak there, is because it's weak. Because all the weight you're pushing here, so you're not using the back. So another great one. This is going to be great for you, for the rotary cuff. I'm telling you, you're going to think Brian's a fucking genius. It's not actually inside either. It's a tendon or a ligament. I don't know what it is, tendon or ligament. And it's on like a little railway track like that. It's a little groove like that. So in here, that little, it comes out, it jumps out, so it's off the track. So if you had a train on a railway track and it jumped out that groove, it would drag that. It'll be like that. Now, that's what's wrong with your shoulder, most people. So what you do is, you get in the gym, you get on a bar, you put your hands in the air, you grab the bar, and you hang off that bar for about, say, a minute. Try and build up to 3 minutes. Do that. I'll guarantee you, within 2 weeks, you text me back on and say, Brian, my fucking shoulder's back to normal. I'll guarantee you within 2 weeks, you turn around and say, my shoulder has never been so good. My shoulder was completely fucking, like fucking arthritis. That noise, it's gone. Because I put it back on the track, that little tendon. So that's gone back to that little groove. It's like anything in it. If you get it wrong, it's like a car. And if you put too much oil in or something, you'll fuck the engine in. Too much whatever in, and too much air in the tire. Everything in life has to be right. You can't take more's never ever better. More's usually worse for you. Training too much, eating too much, sleeping too much, fucking doing things in moderation is great, but you've got to get an even keel, an even balance, the yin and the yang. I believe in all that stuff because it does work. But I'm telling you now, if you can hang off a bar, straight bar, just a straight normal bar where you do chins on, you don't have to pull yourself up. You can't. You'll do it and hang off that. And if you can build up 3 minutes, do that every day, right? And I'll tell you another great one to do. Go in the gym when you first go in. The first thing you're going to do in the gym now to warm up is you're going to grab two, say you ladies, 2 5 kg dumbbells in each hand and walk around the gym with them 2 5 kg dumbbells. That's 10 kg. And the next couple of times you've done that, go in next couple of times, get 2 7.5 kg dumbbells. That's your warm up. Not on a bike and all that stuff. That's your warm up. Now, what happens there is you probably go up to maybe 10, 15, 20 kg in each hand. So if you're walking around with 40 kg, your grip gets stronger, your fingers get stronger, your tendons get stronger, your shoulder, the alignment comes back in. So then you get your traps are getting bigger because you're holding up your traps. You're walking around with 2 dumbbells just at the side of your legs. You walk around, just walking around. It's called the farmer's walk. Them 2 exercises alone will straighten your back out, and they'll straighten out because when gravity pushes you down. So when you go to bed on the night, you're a lot smaller than you are when you get up in the morning. When you get up in the morning, you're bigger because the gravity, obviously, it can decompresses. So when you do this, you decompress every day. So when you're going to bed, get a nice hot bath before you go to bed. And I'm telling you what, your shoulder will be better. Your back will be pulled back out. It'll be straight and it'll strengthen your scapula. That's what that pain what you're getting on your, and there's your free scapula. That will strengthen up your shoulder and your strength will go through the roof for benching. But I wouldn't do shoulder press or dumbbell press. It's like a no-no now because they've realised most people do them and fuck the shoulders up. It's one of the worst things. You don't need to do it because you can do side laterals, you can do front laterals, you can do upright row and all them type of things. You don't need to do shoulder press because when you bench, you're already pressed anyway. When you do tricep push down, use the triceps. So them muscles come into play. So a lot of people have stopped doing shoulder pressing because it's one of the worst ones on your knees and everything. So the dumbbells are great to walk around with. So if you've got the lads, quite strong lads, just get 2 20 kg dumbbells, walk around for 2 minutes and then train. And you watch your fitness go through the roof, but your hand, when you go deadlifting, your grip will go up. When you go to do the grip on the bar, that'll go up. When you go to do pulleys, that'll go up. When you're doing like shoulder, everything will go up because your grip is the thing. That idiot said, I had 960 pounds on a bar, 460 kg, I think it was. Why would you put all that weight on? What's all that about? No, that shitty fucking weight talks. But what that's for, that. I trained with I didn't train him, he was a friend of mine. He was my mate, Martin Robinson, great lad, used to have his own health shop and that. Most knowledgeable. You think I'm good, he's a fucking genius, this lad. And he knows everything about the body. Him and Kev killed they're the top people in the area. I'm up there. But strength-wise, I was the strongest. There's no doubt about that. But training-wise, I've done everything, right. But when you're training with people like this lad, he qualified the world's strongest man. And Tinfoil's telling me how to train when I'm training with the world's strongest. A lad who qualified and competed in the world's strongest man. And he's going, who have you trained with? I trained with Bertel Fox. black. I think he was from Bradford originally. He was fucking. He should have been Mr. Olympia in 1983, but being black, they robbed him. They were fucking racist, really. But after he came to the red car with a lad called Marlon Dart, another great lad, black lad from New York, I think he was from. And he was fucking 6'6", fucking huge, about 18 stone, ripped to the bone. He was Mr. Universe, and he Tom Platts. I've met Tom Platts 3 times, Tim Belknap, trained with loads of, I've trained with 4 different Mr. Olympias in my time, and been the honour to train with them. They've come over and they've done like seminars and posing on stage and that, and they put the medals in places. So he stayed at Redcar for 2 weeks. Battle Fox, black light, fucking massive. And I trained with him. I've got the privilege of training. I did deadlift, squats, and all sorts with him. And he said, "You are a really strong kid, really, really strong, really like me." And I was just like, he was the biggest person I ever sat next to. I was 14 stone 10, I think. He was about 18 stone, I'd say, but he was only 5'7". He was fucking huge. He made my arms look like fucking that big. His arms were like coconuts. They were fucking monstrous. And he'd be one of them people, if he brushed the carpet, he'd probably be big. So that's with him, it was just genetics, but he was great fun. But he was really strong. Fucking, he used to have something like 20 sausages, 20 pieces of bacon. The fucking bloke we took right over, Don Ross, was fucking raging because everywhere he went, he'd get a taxi and he had to pay for everything. Not Don Ross, Don Williams, sorry. The Olympia, it was called the Olympia Gym, funny enough. But in 1983, he should have won the Mr. Olympia. They robbed him. I hate things like that. No, because somebody's a different colour and they get ripped. I fucking hate it. I really hate it. I can't stand injustices. I can't stand somebody, like, because he's from Russia or he's from fucking whatever, because he's Russian, I don't like him. Fucking what's that got to do with somebody who have the better physique than he's from Russia and he's from fucking England, whatever? The one with the best physique should win the trophy, not fucking because he's from another country or what country he's from. I can't lift weights because of my health. Damn, can't lift weights because of your health. Yeah, but can you use your knee? Can you do any? Can you do walking? Can you do rowing? Can you do sit-ups? Can you do press-ups? You do all them type of things, mate. You might have to use weights. You can use your body as a weight. You can use weights. You can put your hands on the stairs, on the bottom of the stairs, and use it as a bed. Press off the stairs. You can press off the wall. You can do all sorts of different things just in the house. Like there's items in the house. You don't need a gym. You're walking up the stairs. That's a stairmaster. Just doing something. Get 2 carrier bags. 4 tins of beans in there. 4 tins of beans in there. Get the bags in your hand and curl the bags. It's probably £8 or something each bag, but do 20 reps. You can put a bar across like a mop, hold it there. You can upright run. You can do pressing. You can do bench press. Everything. You don't need to have big heavy weights. Just do light weights. Do them light, or do fitness training like cross training, biking, walking, swimming. Does every single muscle in the body. Swimming's great for people who've had hip operations because you get a thing called drop foot. It's like that. Your foot goes like that. So you strengthen it by swimming. Most people have got bad hips. Usually it's your hip flexors are weak. So there's exercise you can do for them. So you've had the operation because you're in a wheelchair. Like I've been 2.5 years been bad. So I do these other exercises, but I think that's what knackers my side out. But they said I'd never walk again. I'd never ever train again. You'll never train again. You'll never be able to train. I went, no, won't I? And here I am, fucking training, still training every day. Well, 6 days a week, twice a day. It's in here. You've got to. They might tell you one thing, and if God says to you another thing, you do it. You can't just listen. I'll stretch you out. Yeah, you're right. Stretching the body out. It's really good to stretch. Stretch is one of them. When you stretch as well, another great thing about stretching is when you stretch the body. If you're a bodybuilder, powerlifter, wherever you are, your body grows by 17% more than it would if you didn't stretch. Because what you're doing when you're stretching longer, and what you're saying on here is right, when you're stretching the muscle, then the blood gets more blood in because you're stretching out longer. And also you don't ache as much the next day because you're stretching. It's when you train, you break down the muscle called microscopic tears. They're being stretched and stretched and stretched. So when they're going back to normal, they're dead tight. So the great thing about them is when you're doing the stretching, that takes that tightness out. Now, why the hurt is the reason why you don't recover as much is because it's tightened up and the blood's not, it's constricting the blood from going round. So when you get a hot bath and you get in the bath and it's red hot, go in the bath, start it warm and then turn it hotter and hotter and hotter, slowly go up until you can take it like it's burning you type of thing. That's the type of heat you need, and that'll take out that stinginess. It's really good. But the stretching is really good, what she's saying there. The stretching does help. I do ballerina stretches now, like a tutu, fucking tutu, I think. But all that stuff helps you better. It helps your physique better. Mentally does. And my knees were terrible. My knees are back to normal. My knees are as good as probably a 20-year-old. Before the operations, my knees were crunching. Like I walk up the stairs, the doctor said, in the hospital, he went, your knees sound like a pack of crisps. And I went to Dr. Milner, and it was 30 years ago. I went to the hospital, Nuffield Hospital in Stockton, and he went, can't do enough for you, your knees are gone. So I've trained my knees. I started off with 2 kilos. 2 kilo tied it on my foot with a string because I couldn't in the hospital. And I used that 2 kilo up, down, up, all day long. Then I went to 3 kilos, 4. Then I got elastic bands. Now I can use 60 key leg extension. I can get 50, 60 reps straight off. That's enough me twice a week for my legs. And I do that. And my knees have come back to normal. I've got no crunching in my knees now. So a lot of it is just working out what's good for you. Sometimes you can do a certain exercise. It can kill you, really hurt you. But if you don't train your knees, if you don't train your muscles, what happens is then you get bone on bone. So there you're going to have more problems because you're not training them. So if you do leg extension and leg biceps, you're strengthening the knees by using their muscles. But if you're not using their muscles, the muscles start deteriorating. So then what happens is the bone goes on bone. So then you're going to have that bone on bone, which is a fucking nightmare. The pain is excruciating. So you don't want to get to that stage. You want to train your legs. Even if it hurts a little tiny bit, just do it a little bit and build it up really slow. Even if you put nothing on, just sit on the bed and do dynamic tension. Stick your legs out, hold them 10 seconds, relax. Stick them out, hold them 10 seconds, relax, and just strengthen them that way. You can do that. You don't have to lift weights. You can just put your legs out, sitting on a chair doing it. But it does work. Right, guys, I'm going to shoot because I'm absolutely shattered. I've got to train leg biceps. I've got to do tonight. But thanks for listening to me, guys. I'll see you again soon tomorrow. Emma's going to feed you a few more, but we're going to bin that idiot soon. So, like most of our people are saying, it was just the respect I had for Marty Turner. I didn't want him to get off hook free, line and sinker. But I think we've got him now. We've caught him on that rod. He's never going to get off it. It's like a shark in the pool where he can't get away now. So we've hooked him. So everybody goes, there's that scumbag who ripped him, and there's that thing. I mean, it's horrible. Maybe people think we don't, but there's an old thing saying what goes around comes around, and what's happened to him now is happening. And you know, I don't like to bully anyone, but what he's done to my wife, threatened to rape my wife and rape my dog and killed me and set my house alight. And I know it was him. I know 100%. I wouldn't lie to you guys. I know it was him who did it, and it wasn't for the due diligence of the neighbours. I was asleep on diazepam, and the petrol bombed my house and fire bombed my house, and the house was on fire. Little Eli was barking and crying, woke me up, and the neighbours come. As you can see, they put that fire out. It wasn't for them neighbours. It wasn't like if it was probably I lived in a council estate area, the people wouldn't have probably be able to afford the fire extinguishers. These all the fire extinguishers. I was lucky I lived in this estate. If I'd lived like where my mum lives, they probably wouldn't have got put out because they wouldn't have had fire extinguishers. They'd probably been fucking burnt alive. But the people were lucky that they had the fire extinguishers to come in with 3 fire extinguishers and put them out. So I was really grateful to them people, saved my life. But the cops, Emma phoned the police because he was saying, I'm coming through your back door to rape you, meaning like the back window. So she thought, I'll go outside and if anybody comes, they'll see us and they'll see us on camera. And somebody went, as if you do that, you'd have to be mentally deranged in the head. Well, she was mentally deranged. Wouldn't you be when you've been nearly raped before and stabbed 3 times by her ex-boyfriend, and 2 lads got her in middle red car and tried to rape her? And that dirty bastard, sorry for swearing, ladies, he sent the messages and sent the 2 pictures of the 2 men who tried to rape her to the house, saying they're coming to get you. And she had a mental breakdown through it. That's how fucking evil he is. She was like that bag of nerves on and he was laughing at her, being frightened when the fireworks were going off and the petrol bombs were going off. And she was like like shaking at the table like a bag of nerves. She's not like that. All their family are millionaires. Emma's brothers and sisters, they're all multi-millionaire. Both two of them have got golf course. One in Saltburn, one's got a golf course in Red Kia. So they're Jason. They've got nightclubs and pubs and jeweler shops and fucking houses and all sorts of property. And nieces are all singers on fucking, the ships where you go, where you sing on the ships and that. They're like quality top singers on them ships to go to America and back and things like that. All the family are really well to do. Lovely people. And he was torturing that girl. She's never had a fucking son in her life. Edgar Lee, are your son? I used to pull back to the gym. Yeah, you got to get back to the gym. You've got to go to the gym. Hangman, that audit. You've got to, son. A Carlisle crew. I used to pull, humble crier. You're back. Help it set it up, mate. Yes. Vendor, I'm doing it now. Back to the gym. Yeah, get in the gym. All you got to do, go in that gym, right? Do not go to that gym and think, I'm going to be Arnold. Get that shit out. Yeah, go in the gym and do the exercises. Do maybe 1 set of 10 bench. Press. 1 set of 10 barbell curl. 1 set of 10 long pull behind the neck. 1 set of 10 dumbbell flies. 1 set of 10 leg extensions. Just one exercise for each body part. Do that and do it light and do it comfortable where you don't want to be going and doing straining with it. You want to just be getting it nice and strict. And when you come out, you feel you haven't done nothing. But the next day when you get up, you'll feel it. Because it takes 24 to 48 hours if the muscle starts going back and it's tight. You don't need to come back going, and all that, because that'll put you off training for life. So you need to go like you haven't even trained. Do that for a month. Just train very light. And the people in there will show you how to do it with the machines. Train on the machines. Don't go on bench press. Don't go on barbell. Don't go on squats. Do them on the machines, because if you go to fall on the machine, or the machine will just fall in the rack, you won't hurt yourself. So do that, but always take somebody to train with, or ask somebody to spot you in the gym. Don't go on there. Don't be embarrassed to ask somebody to help you in the gym. Everyone's friendly in gyms and they all want to help you. Because if you go and do something wrong and you hurt yourself, you could be off. You could tear a tendon or a ligament or your cruciate ligament, and you could never train again. So just get help and just ask someone in there, warm up maybe 5 minutes on the bike before you train, or walk around with the dumbbells, or go on the bike for 5 minutes and just cool down when you're going out. What you'll get there, just a little. It's like you wouldn't run a 26-mile marathon, would you, in the first day? So you build it up slowly, a little bit more, and you do this, that, and the other. So you've got to do that. You don't just get born and run and sprint. You've got to get born, you've got to crawl, you've got to walk, you've got to toddle along, and you've got to run, and then you've got to sprint. So you can't just be a sprinter. So you've got to do it in stages. And that way, if you do it slowly but surely, you'll see the results in about 6 weeks' time. You look at them and go, fucking hell, look at my chest. Look at my biceps, look at my arms, look at all the fats coming up my face. I'll get up the stairs easy. I'm struggling with these, man. Oh, I'm easy hoovering the house up, and everything comes easier. Hoover up, cutting the grass, everything. It's great. All this training, and it changes your brain, the way you think. You're producing proper good serotonin, good beta, gamma, and then it's making you settle. When you go to bed at night, you can sleep a lot better. If you've got restless leg syndrome, take magnesium. Magnesium calms the brain down. Take one about an hour before you go to bed. You can get them at the pound shop cheap. You don't need to pay for the dear ones. Take the magnesium, really good. Potassium is really good, but you don't need tablets for that, because you get potassium in potatoes, you get them in bananas, but potatoes are better. You get about 1,800 calories in a potato. In a banana, you get about 600, 300, 600. So you're better having that. They're good for you for when you're training, because potassium stops you getting cramps. If you're getting cramps, you haven't got enough potassium in your body. You need vitamin C in your body, only a pound or the pound shop. You need vitamin D every day, especially not so much now because the sun shines here. Vitamin D is made from the sun. The sun hits you, but you've got to have your top off. You can't just have your face. You've got to have your legs showing and maybe your back and your t-shirt on or something. And then in the sun 20 minutes and you'll produce vitamin D. Now, vitamin D produces and gives you more natural vitamin, gives you more testosterone. It helps to raise the testosterone levels in the body, which men struggle with when they get about 35, 40, because you start losing it. And that's when you're weak. So you need to go to the doctor get your heart checked and all the other stuff, your knees, your back, everything before you train. Then go and ask them to see if you've got diabetes. Check that. Check to see if your insulin deficiency. So if you're not producing insulin, they'll give you insulin in your body to help you. So if your beta cells are dying in the pancreas, then you have a problem. So you need to go and sort that out, because that can make you so depressed and so down and lethargic because you're not producing insulin. So you've got to get that checked out. Men have got it checked out to see if they've got the test. And then you can get a cream off the doctor or an injection off him every so many months. And the steroids they give you are the same steroids that you had when you were young. They won't hurt you in any way, shape or form, because your body produces them. It's because you're getting older. Your body can't produce them no more because you're getting older. So you're putting back in the steroids what you took. The steroids they're giving you is the same steroids you got when you were younger, when you were 20. So it helps your body a lot fitter and strength and tendons and ligaments, and helps your bones and things like that. So it will help you if you haven't got enough testing in your body. But you must go and get the doctors get checked out. Can't tell you. I can't look at your body and say, oh, you haven't got enough testing in your body. You need testing. Get your liver tested and everything. You just go and get it done. It's done. You just have to go once again. It's so sound. And if you're like 55, 60, you get a little package like that for you. You have to poo in it, like on a little stick. You get a bit of poo in it. It sounds a bit gruesome what I'm saying. You poo on it. You put it in a little cartridge thing. You send it off. You put the date on. They send it back in 4 days and they tell you if you've got a chat. You see if you've got cancer in your bowels. They can get it if you get it straight away. They can put a camera in, and they can give the operation that day, and it just bends it off, little nodules, it's gone. So you get that, and it can tell you if you've got cancer because there's blood in the poo, and it can tell you. So you've got it straight away, so you get cured straight away. Don't fucking leave it going, oh, I'll leave it next month, leave it next month. You get these people say, no, because if you know you've got cancer, you're going to die quicker. No, you're going to die, you silly bastard, quicker because you haven't hit it. No, but if they say to me I've got cancer, I'm going to worry about it. I went, yeah, but if you don't get cured straight away, you're going to die anyway. It just makes sense that. So you go straight in, whether you're frightened or not, get in there. And the technology they've got now is brilliant. Don't be frightened of getting anything. Go and get it tested. Don't be frightened. Go and get tested for something that you might have. Then you can get it sorted straight away. Don't leave it 6 months and say, well, why didn't you come in 6 months ago? Well, I didn't want to know that I got it. Well, you have got it. It's too late now. So that's what you got to do. Stop messing them out and get them doctors and get them fucking told. Right, I'm going now. I'm definitely going. Great night I've had. Years. Dr. Brian. The one thing I can't do is fucking computers. Oh, drives me insane, it does. These barmy bastard things through my head in. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. It's just beyond, be honest. My IQ's through the roof and I can't do a fucking these. One you shit bag, get up. Yes. Now how do I get the top? Oh my God. My wife knows how to do it. That's what I need, my wife. That's it. Go on. Yes.